Since 1931, a man named Roy Simmons has been at the helm of every Syracuse lacrosse team. And last year, Roy Simmons Jr. watched his team win the NCAA Division I National Championship, led by this man, the sensational Gary Gait from Brentwood Bay in British Columbia. When it wasn't Gary Gait, it was brother Paul, the identical twin. And this year, Roy Simmons has added a third British Columbian to the attack, Tom Marachek, he of the behind-the-back shot. And together, the Canadian connection has accounted for 58 of Syracuse's goals to this point in the season. Dave Urick has had an unbelievable career at Hobart, winning 9 national championships in 9 years at the Division III level, an unprecedented record. Late last season, it was Bill Miller's exploits, leading Hobart to the national championship against Ohio Wesleyan. And indeed, it is Miller again who is the leading point producer for the Hobart Statesmen this season. Today, the defending national champions of college lacrosse, Division I Syracuse and Division III Hobart, meeting in beautiful Geneva, New York. And this is Boswell Field, the home of Hobart lacrosse, where Syracuse and Hobart, each losers in their opening game of the 1989 season, are meeting for the 74th time. And hi again, everybody. Dave Cohen along with Dale Drypulcher. Yes, they may play in different divisions, but they're in the same area code. They both wear orange. They're both defending national champions. And most importantly, they have agreed to play today. They're on the same field. And Dale, these days in college sports, you don't have these matchups where a team from one division plays against a team from another. Too much of the mentality of, well, we have nothing to gain, too much to lose. But not so in this rivalry. It's a healthy one.
All you got to do is go down on the field. The coaches like each other. Even the players like each other. It's a great rivalry. It should be a great weekend and a great game.
Well, that will stop, though, for the next 2 hours. And the Hobart attack is led by Bill Miller, as we said. He's slenderly built, but very effective.
Well, he's got 42 points. Weighs about 160 pounds. He's got a great shot placement, and he's really a guy they look to from the attack.
The leading goal scorer right now for Hobart is fellow attackman Lance Savage. He has one more goal than Miller.
Yeah, he's 26-9. The thing about the attack is they're getting so many goals. Hobart said they love Savage, they love Miller, but they'd like to get a little more balanced scoring, maybe a little bit more from the midfield. But obviously Savage and Miller are two guys that Syracuse is going to have to look at early.
And one thing that has worked very well for Hobart in getting the ball to the attack and to the midfield has been possession, and they've gained that through the faceoffs.
Jack Money has got 78%, tremendous percentage. I think he's going to have a tough day today. He's going up against Kirk Pratt, who's maybe had a little tougher competition, but the game might be decided right at the midfield line.
We saw that happen back in 1986. Remember little tiny Crawford? The Syracuse defense will be trying to shut down the attack, and they are particularly adept at taking the ball away. The man on the left, Pat McCabe.
Pat McCabe does not have a peer, I think, in the ability not only to play defense but to take the ball away. Mark Stouffer and Jim McNamara, also excellent defensemen. Good size, a lot bigger than the attack of Hobart, so the size factor might be a little intimidating in that particular section of the game.
We are on a natural grass field. It's in remarkable shape considering the lack of spring we've had with rain and snow. The track is fast, although we've had a light misting rain for about an hour or so before the game. But one thing to remember, on the natural grass field, the ball will not roll out of bounds as frequently as it does indoor on the carpet. They'll be contending for every loose ball around the perimeter of this field.
There should be some interesting confrontations and clashes going after that loose ball. And although Syracuse really likes synthetic turf, I think the field is in good condition. Should be pretty fast anyway.
At stake is the Kraus-Simmons Trophy and the bragging rights to upstate lacrosse. We'll be back to meet the starting lineups, and we'll have the opening face in just a minute. Now let's meet the starting lineups on the attack for Syracuse. Greg Burns, 8 goals, 3 assists. John Zilberti, 11 and 24. Tom Marachek, 19 goals, 10 assists. The Syracuse midfield is Paul Gait with 14 goals, 9 assists. Gary Gait with 25 goals and 6. Speedy Rodney Dumpson, 8 goals, 3 assists. That is the Syracuse midfield. Now the faceoff man for Syracuse, Kirk Pratt, 61% of the faceoffs he's won. The defense, Pat McCabe, 1 goal, 34 ground balls. Jim McNamara, 25 ground balls. Mark Stouffer has picked up 11. And they'll be playing in front of the Syracuse goalie, Matt Palem. He stopped 64% of the shots directed his way, allowing 7.9 goals per game. Matt Palem. The Hobart attack with Bill Miller, 25 goals and 17 assists. Rich Moses, 15 goals and 6 assists. Lance Savage has scored 26 times, and he's assisted on 9 goals. Hobart's midfield, Mike DiMaria, 8 goals and 5 assists. Kurt Drury, 4 goals and 9. And Matt Kerwick, 7 goals and no assists. The man who's gotten the ball for Hobart repeatedly, Jacques Monti, has won 79% of his faceoffs. The defense for the Statesman, Peter Bennett with 10 ground balls. He has 1 assist. Mark Burchell has scooped up 19. Rob Cunningham, 31 ground balls. And they will play in front of Sean Trell, the goalie from Columbus, Ohio, 56% save rate, allowing 7.7 per game. Back with the opening face in a minute. It is a jam-packed capacity crowd here at Boswell Field in Geneva. They were wondering before the game, a couple of hours before, whether the weather might hold down the crowd. There isn't a seat to be had. Capacity is down somewhat from what it was because of the construction of the new Robert A. Bristol Fieldhouse, which is directly behind the stands on the west side here at Boswell Field in Geneva. We'll give you a shot of that. It is a magnificent complex, and we'll take you indoors during halftime to show you what that building is all about. Meanwhile, the team in orange is Syracuse. The team in white and orange is Hobart. The rain has held off for the most part. It is not raining now as we approach the opening face-off. Kirk Pratt against Jacques Monti. Natural grass field, and it is a relatively fast surface despite the heavy precipitations of the spring. Syracuse will go left to right. They've won this game 7 times of the 9 meetings in this decade, and the last 2 years, Hobart's last win right here in '86. And we're underway as Kirk Pratt goes to the surface on the initial faceoff, and Hobart gains possession momentarily. Now Gary Gates sends it into the attacking half of the field. Kerwick contending. Burchell. And Hobart nearly losing it. And that's an example of what we mean about the ball staying in bounds. It is Gary Gate coming up with it, using his strength, and he's on the move for the first time. Carrying it into the box. Breaking through 2 men. Shoots, and Trell makes the save. And the ball ricochets out of bounds. Syracuse will keep it.
Well, there was no doubt about that he was going all the way down to take that left-handed shot. Trell watched him all the way down and was able to get the stick down, and Syracuse got possession on the shot, but Trell, maybe a little confidence builder there.
Now Syracuse puts it in play. They work from behind. Gary Gate, number 22. You can tell Gary's got the blue spandex undershorts. His brother Paul is wearing the orange. Syracuse with a deliberate attack. This is Tom Marechek giving it up. Rodney Dumpson outside. Dumpson using the pick by Paul Gate. Now sending across the box. There's a hard shot coming. It's saved by Trell. He had it lined up all the way. His outlet pass is handled. And Hobart looks to transition quickly. Moses can't pick it up. McNamara's all over him. Fediaka with a big stick comes over. Hobart still has it now. We're in a scoreless game. This is Bill Miller, number 3. Miller going through the Syracuse midfield. Now giving it up to Savage. They double team and triple team him. And the orange sticks take it away. Scaramazzino. Syracuse transitioning well.
McCabe.
He scored a goal last week. He feeds in close. Zoberti.
They're going to stick around down there for a while. Now McCabe going to take it off.
John Zoberti works. And he goes to the turf. Hobart's defense takes it away. Hobart having trouble, though, getting into the attacking half of the field. And a whistle will stop play. We've got a push against Syracuse. Earl Hall trots off.
Lots of action. Dave Urick really got to be pleased with the intensity, getting on the ground balls.
Here it is, Paul Gate, McCabe come over, and they bring down the Hobart player, so possession goes over to Hobart. As they look to head into the box for the first time in the game. They work from behind, ball down on the ground. Lance Savage has it. This is where McCabe excels with that poke check. 26, Chris Crummy. They move it on Stouffer. He's bumped, and Palem comes out. Did he step into the crease? He did. Syracuse gets possession. There's a good look at Pat McCabe, the sophomore.
Nice job by Miller, but Stouffer, watch Miller and then watch Stouffer. There's Miller making a move. Stuffed by Palem as he came out. He actually got by Stouffer, and Matt Palem had to come out, but you saw him take a little trip through the crease.
He took away the angle, and he was not pushed into the crease. He went in under his own power, so Syracuse gets it back. Matt Palem's going to walk it up. Hobart's going to meet him about 2/3 of the way.
They'll let him go up around that line of the box, and then they're going to jump him over to McCabe.
And back to Palem. Syracuse is a man open deep down the left sideline. Instead, they go in the middle of the field.
Really collapsing when the ball gets across that zone. They're going to have to redirect it and start over again.
Joe Bonacci, second midfielder on, number 1. Now they look for... They find Freddie Amaya, number 8.
Second midfield on.
Amaya now goes into the corner. And now back up top. Earl Hall is the point man. He's got it now, number 7. To the near side, they go to number 1, Joe Bonacci, the transfer from Navy. Tried to dodge. Unsuccessful against Eric Stein. Now into the corner, John Zoberti has it. Zoberti played by Cunningham. Cross field, very deliberate offense by Syracuse. Now Earl Hall open for the shot. He shoots it low, and Trell is down for the save.
They're going to ride him
now by Sean Trell. And now Cunningham up ahead to Crummy. Hobart stays onside. Hobart takes it into the box. Crummy gives it up. From behind, they'll work with Savage against McCabe. He puts it on the ground.
Jock Monte's off his stick.
Jock Monte, but saved. John Desko, the Syracuse assistant coach, on the sideline. You saw McCabe knock the ball out of the stick of Savage. Here's a soft shot taken by Palem, and he quickly outlets to Earl Hall. Deep down into the attacking half of the field. Now Syracuse carries it into the box. They spot Amaya. He fakes. He goes down. And here come the Statesmen. Up ahead to Savage. He gives it up nicely to Monte. Monte with some shooting room. Gives it up in the middle. Quick stick in close. Score! Bill Miller from in close as they work the ball beautifully. And Miller gets goal number 26. And the Hobart crowd is on their feet.
It was a great fast break. They just kept sliding, and every time Syracuse every time Syracuse slid over to pick him up, watch what happens. All right, ball is down. That was 36. Mulherin started the whole thing, took the ball away. Then it's up. They're going downfield with Crummy. Watch the pass. Now watch Syracuse slide when they see him open, because he gets beat right. Well, we won't see it, but he got beat, made a move, and then they were outnumbered, and they just kept passing back against as Syracuse slid over and got him one-on-one with Palem.
1-0 Hobart as Gary Gate gets it to brother Paul Gate. He has the defense out of position. He gets the shot. He ties the game up. Just the brute strength of Paul Gate against Matt Kerwick. Gate would not let his feet go out from under him, and then he bounced it past Sean Trell, and we have a tie game at 1 apiece.
Kerwick has got him. Watch him fake right after he gets down, and then he just comes back left. There's the fake right, brings it right back across. Great strength, and Trell, the ball hopped up out of that crease for Gates' first goal and Syracuse's first goal.
The Gates have tremendous strength and balance. On the previous possession, you saw the Syracuse player go down as Kirk Pratt wins the faceoff. Gary Gate looks back, scoops the ball up, and he's on the move now against Greg Cosgrove. He's going left. Cosgrove pokes it away, and he's going to get to it first. Paul Gate will make it. Greg Burns wins it back for Syracuse. Over his back to Gary, taken away by Hobart instead. It's on the ground, picked up by Stouffer, the defenseman. You see the ball doesn't roll, and now Hobart with a 2-on-2. Savage gets the step. Savage down in front of the crease, and Palem tried to rake it in.
Nice job by McCabe. He was out of position. 29 came back around and took the stick down to stop the shot. of Savage. Watch Savage. There's the move. There's the move right there by McCabe. Up and over, stop the shot.
So that's a takeaway for McCabe. Second time he's knocked the ball loose, but that one saved a goal. 1-1 game. Ball is in the stick of Matt Palem, the goalie. He gives it now to Paul Gate, who comes back to help the midfielder, faking right, going left.
That's one way to clear it.
And he still has it, working his way downfield. A little toss to Paul Gate. Here's a shot for Dumpson, possible shot, but he didn't unleash it. Intercepted, intended for Paul Gate. Hobart gets it back, and they transition well. Moving upfield quickly is Di Maria, the midi. Di Maria stops on a dime. He feeds in close. And again, they take it away from Savage. We got a whistle, however. It's going to go against Syracuse. So the Orange will send on Persing and Scaramuzino. Also on for Syracuse, Phil Schluter. The big sticks.
Fediaka also in on that for Hobart to start that fast break off. The penalty will now give them possession.
Kurt Drury misplayed it. He's got it again. And this is Miller. He feeds in close. Di Maria was camped out right at the crease. Scaramuzino now for the Orangemen. Over the head of Persing, who runs it down. Flips it ahead.
Smooch.
Nice job by. And they spot an open man, Burns, but it's intercepted. The pass was shy of Burns. Syracuse has it again. Rob Persing, number 34.
That was Kerwick that intercepted that for a second for Hobart.
Syracuse sending on their second midfield. They'll delay until they come on. They come on individually. Amaya, number 8, will get it now. Fred Amaya from Hicksville on Long Island. Dan Cahey, number 30, with it. They go to Zilberti, who hasn't played behind the cage very much. And Syracuse working back there with Maricek. He goes low, and Trell is there. Maricek thought he had it by him. Trell now with 4 saves. They kick it, Hobart does, and overrunning it is Bonacci. Right at the midfield line. We may have an offsides. We do.
Lots of ball on the ground, pushing, shoving, and that's what the old outdoor game of lacrosse is all about. So far, I'd have to say, lots of hustle by both teams. They're really going after the balls. Unsettled situations have been the norm so far.
4 saves by Sean Trell. Here's Dan Cahey carrying it in for a shot and a score. Dan Cahey, one of the newer of the Syracuse Orangemen, gets only his 2nd goal of the year, and he puts the Orange on top by a score now of 2-1.
You know, we talked about big defense. Cunningham and Bennett, 30 and 43 for Hobart, are big, 6'3", 200 pounds. Good power as he beat the defensive midi and just went left-handed. And Cahey comes up with the 2nd goal for Syracuse, 2-1.
He's a junior from Homer, New York. Syracuse with 6 shots. Hobart has had just 2. And the Orange lead in the game for the first time. Pratt and Monty. It's Pratt winning the face. Scaramuzino heads off. Bonacci will replace him. Good job by Pratt as he gives it to Amaya. He heads toward the sideline. Earl Hall will take his spot on the field.
They're playing everybody tight from the box out when they're behind.
Zilberti dealing from behind. Now he comes in front. Zilberti finds Bonacci. Bonacci with a quick shot, and Trell does an excellent job as he comes up with his 5th save. Now Hobart gets it upfield quickly. Peter Bennett, the defenseman, starts the clear. They work it behind the cage. Miller to Savage. Savage beating McCabe, but McCabe over the top. Yet another takeaway. And now Scaramuzino for Syracuse. Scaramuzino with good legs, taking it into the box. Will he get a shot away? He's hit. Burns, Zilberti in front.
Whoa.
Shot is high, but Syracuse will keep it.
You know, normally you might see that big stick guy run off. They stayed right in there and put a lot of pressure on Trell. Trell, nice job, but the shot was not on goal.
Maricek was the shooter. He was camped out in front. Zilberti got it to him.
Zilberti passing from behind. Maricek, really, they collapsed on him. Ball went high.
He had a lot of net to shoot for low on that particular play, but he went high and Trell was there. Paul Gate now looks for a cutter. He's got Dumpson off the pick. Trell again with a save. And And Fediaka now at midfield. Gets it to Moses. Syracuse gamble on him. McNamara missing. Hobart trying to retain possession. McNamara kicks it though. And it's Stouffer who'll redirect it to Palem. Palem on the outlet near side McCabe.
McCabe will take time for him to set up. Ball back to Matt to start things off.
No ride this time by Hobart.
Oh, nice look.
Get it upfield in a hurry. Now Syracuse into the box. Gary Gate misplayed on the pass up ahead to Maricek. Maricek applying pressure, however, against Bennett. Now Trell is fair game as he's out of the cage. And it's deflected and taken away, but not saved on the hustle by Maricek. Yes, it is. It's still in bounds.
Maricek kept it from going out of bounds.
Maricek gets it back. Paul Gates setting up the rifle shot. Quick stick in front and a score by Syracuse. There it was. John Zoberti getting the feed from Paul Gate, and it's now a 3-1 game.
The Z just snuck out from behind. Paul Gates saw him pop out, and he hit him perfectly. Zoberti's been staying pretty much behind number 11, and you'll see the result as he does pop out, and Gates sees him come around. They collapse on him. Closest to him was Cunningham.
He came out of nowhere. He caught them napping. He snuck in from behind as the ball was loose, and Paul Gate found him.
He's got such good speed, he just popped out. This has been a contest. There's the face-off. Syracuse up with another one now.
And Paul Gate may elect to take this one all the way. He comes in, he feeds the crease. Fake score.
Oh, Maricek was... They get him positioned on the crease, and they couldn't clean him off. And when Gate moved, they double-teamed him, and he got the ball to Maricek.
It is a 4-1 game now, as Syracuse has scored 4 consecutive goals. And the face-offs have allowed Syracuse to get that possession. Syracuse has won 4 face-offs to just 1 for Hobart.
Well, you see, it was one-on-one with the goalie. He just snuck around there, was open on the crease. Peter Bennett, defenseman, not able to get a stick on him. A little bit of confusion there, I think, on who had who on the crease.
Maricek, 20 goals, 10 assists. Syracuse's Scaramazzino tried to kick it. Instead, it is number 31, Larry DiGiovanni for Hobart. Now Savage gets it down to Moses. Hobart not set up, though, to go with their attack. Now they bring on Drury. It is a 4-1 game. Hobart drew first blood. Syracuse has scored 4 straight. Di Maria comes on, 22. They go outside the box now to Kerwick, 14. From behind. Near side Drury. He had a cutter going through Di Maria, chased by Cahey. Kerwick will head into the box. There's a nice dodge move coming by Miller. Miller is still looking for the pass, and it's saved by Palem as Savage stepped in the crease. He was not pushed, says the official. Syracuse gets it back.
Well, Matt Palem knew there was some action down there. He looked for some help. Stouffer and McCabe and Savage. That's Miller right there getting the aluminum. There's the pass. Nice look, but the ball didn't have enough on it. And there you see the little trip through the crease as he was legally bumped in.
Good defensive slide on the initial approach to the crease by Miller. They took away his angle.
They are going to ride Syracuse now. They kind of let them get the ball up the restraining line. They are riding hard with Miller.
Miller against McNamara, who had trouble initially, and now he legs it up toward midfield, gives it up. Good play by Earl Hall to scoop it up. It's loose. It's taken away by Cosgrove. Cosgrove had a beat on it, but instead it's Zoberti who overruns it, and Cosgrove is there again. He still can't pick it up. Give him a vacuum cleaner. It's knocked out of his stick by Zoberti.
Let's see what the call is. It's a tough one. Jim O'Hara's right there and says it was out of Cosgrove's stick, that the stick was hit, but not the ball.
Cosgrove had all sorts of difficulty in picking that ball up.
Well, he tried to put 72 inches of aluminum and pick up a little 5-ounce ball. It's very difficult, but Syracuse possession.
And leading it 4-1. Syracuse sends it to Zoberti. Second midfield is on. They get it in toward the slot for Burns, and Sean Trell comes up with it. Trell on the outlet. Good job there to play it by Burchill. Cross field to Moses, number 20. He goes to the corner. Looks for a cutter. Does Richard Moses.
Well, they got to jump out of the box. That's Kerwick. They're still changing.
Now to the corner of the box.
Big sticks in. Scaramazzino and Schluter
Miller back to DiMaria.
Earl Hall.
There's an angle for the shot and a score. You saw Palem. It looked like he touched it initially, but it got by him. And Hobart back on the scoreboard now on the goal by Mike DiMaria.
Well, it was not an exceptionally hard shot. It was left-handed. Earl Hall was on him. Watch. Just a nicely placed shot, and it just bounced right past Matt Palem.
And for DiMaria, his 9th goal of the year. It is 4-2 Syracuse as you watch the battle of the defending national champions.
And we talked about him getting some scoring a little bit outside from the midfield, and that was right there, DiMaria. Nice little tussle here.
Pratt's got his knee stuck under Jacques Monti. That's going to be a violation.
Yeah. Notice they got a couple of big sticks out there, or at least one, 2 on the face-off now does Hobart. So if they lose the face-off, they got their people out there with the big sticks. Watch right there. He's withholding the ball from play.
That's dangerous. You don't want those ligaments to stretch or tear. Paul Gate, double team, gives it up to Gary from outside. He fires and it goes out of bounds. This telecast is being made possible through the generous loyalty of the Howland Construction Company. Thomas P. Poole, class of '61 and Hobart president. Ames Linen Company, Bud Adams, class of '64 president, and Dick Haskins, class of 1960 of Haskins Oldsmobile and General Motors Corporation. John Zilberti faked one too many times and had it knocked away. A 4-2 lacrosse game, and the scrum is on.
Well, we thought the ball might be on the ground a little bit today, and it has been.
Off the stick of Gary Gate, it went initially to Moses, Burchell in pursuit, McNamara, and now McKay.
You know, on this natural surface, the ball takes little hops, and Syracuse maybe a little trouble picking it up, although they've had some pretty good luck with the bounces as they now Hobart not going to ride them, give them a little chance to get up. They're going to zone up and back off.
We're down to the final minute and 53 here of the first quarter. Hobart has scored first and last in this first quarter. Syracuse has the 4 goals in between. Very good lacrosse game, and the rain is held off. Capacity crowd, delighted you're with us today.
Nice clear.
That's an offsides.
Yeah, I was saying it was too nice a clear. McCabe started down the sideline. Somebody else was supposed to come back across, and Syracuse now loses the ball to Hobart with a minute 35. Lots of time, and Hobart's going to get the ball right at the midfield line.
And the winner of today's game will take home the Kraus-Simmons Trophy. It's been presented each year since 1985. It honors longtime coaches Roy Simmons Sr., Syracuse coach 1931 to 1970, not in attendance at today's game, and the late Babe Kraus, the coach of Hobart 1925 to 1966. Coming up at halftime, 5 members of Hobart's longtime lacrosse program will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. He took away the ball and the stick.
Scaramazino and Monti, that'll be a hold on Scaramazino. So Jacques Monti got a hold out of Scaramazino. Watch this. There's the move. Now Scaramazino with the stick right underneath the arm, and then he just runs with the stick right there. 30 seconds. Penalties have been few and far between. Time served. First man up opportunity, I believe, for Hobart.
It is, and they'll work from behind, as is their custom. Miller now to Savage. Savage to Drury as the knee brace on the left leg. Hobart again goes behind. In front they go. Nobody was there in the slot. The ball rolls to midfield. It's 3-on-1 in terms of white shirts. Hobart gets it back. They throw it over the head of Savage, but it'll stay in bounds on the turf. Miller from behind.
Syracuse even up now.
Savage. Back to Miller.
Now they
Teams
start
at
to
equal
pick up.
strength. They send it Drury's way. Drury again to Savage. They like to find a man coming right down the slot. There's a dodge attempt, and he goes in the air and he gets it in. Bill Miller. Shades of air gate. He took that one out of his playbook, and it is now a 4-3 game.
Great move. Number 3. He beats the defenseman, jumps through the air. He can't come down in the crease before the ball goes through. Miller up with Air Miller.
There's John Winship, who was on defense there, number 39, wasn't it? Winship only a freshman, if indeed that was number 39. Syracuse takes the face-off. Kirk Pratt has it. Gives it up now to Paul Gate, who mishandles and regains. And he has it deflected as he tries to get it to Maricek. Maricek right in front, behind the back and in. A sensational goal by Paul Gate. He caught that pass at point-blank range, and that was a rifle pass from Maricek.
How long do you think that ball stayed in his stick?
You don't often see a pass from that angle parallel, right even with a plane of the goal. Watch it.
There's the look. There's the pass. Sidearm. And you just see the end of that. It's happened so fast as Maricek fed his Canadian connection for 2 goals down, 2 assists, and faceoffs continue to be a dominant statistic for Syracuse.
And time has run out in a very, very exciting and well-played first quarter, with Hobart trailing Syracuse 5-3. And it is Monty and Drury, and the wingmen come in as Monty goes down, and hustling to the ball is Kirk Pratt.
Maricek up with it.
Maricek with a beautiful feed. The cage is open.
Just that quickly.
The same two combine again. Tom Maricek and Paul Gate. Trell knew he had no help. His only option was to come out and try to intercept the pass. He was dead if he didn't come up with that pass. And
he had nothing else to do. And that quickly they got the ball back down off the face-off. That shows you how important face-offs are. They're often into unsettled situations, and that's exactly what that was. And
third goal of the game for Paul Gate.
Gate picks up his 3rd.
And it is a 6-3 game. Pratt on the face-off, this time against Chris Crummy. So Monty has been relieved of his face-off duties after winning 79% coming in.
You're getting a pretty good look. There's Crummy right there, and you can see really a clamp and then able to rake it out, and there's the push. So that really gives you the offensive opportunity again and again.
Gary Gate with a half pass, half shot. John Zoberti has it. Zoberti feeding, intended for Dumpson. It rolls all the way to midfield. Hobart kicks it across. The big stick.
Nice job by
back
McCabe.
for the orange. You can't step over, but you can reach over.
And now they're going to really get the ball way up.
Greg Burns to Rodney Dumpson. We haven't seen Dumpson go one-on-one yet. He can motor.
See who picks him up as they go across. Crummy? No.
Nice change of direction by Dumpson. A hesitation step. He wants to get that right-handed shot away. In traffic, Paul Gate knocked down. Trell comes out. He looks to clear, and he does. Going up the left wing to Frank Fediaka. Came here as a football player, hadn't played lacrosse.
Boy, he's got good legs, doesn't he? Woo.
He sure does. Hobart transitioning well. Hobart from behind. Miller against Stouffer. Di Maria comes over. Will they send it his way? Yes. Opening minute and a half of the second quarter. Syracuse 6, Hobart 3. Scarmazzino taking a run at Kerwick. They go in and out of the box now to Drury. Back on the sideline. Savage and Miller on the exchange. Here's Miller getting bumped by Stouffer. Miller working in for the one-on-one. He goes down. And Palin was down low to play the shot. Stouffer has the loose ball. He rolls it into the crease where only Palin can play it. Good job.
They can play it with a stick, but he got it up to Dumpson.
And here is the foot speed of Rodney Dumpson, leaving a fallen player in his wake, feeding it to Gate. Paul Gate tried to do a 360, taken away by Kerwick of Hobart. Upfield he goes, and running room on this play. Virtual, the defenseman. He gives it up in the slot, the return in close.
Save!
Point blank save by Palin as he smothered Miller in close.
It's going to be a push, I believe, but that saved a goal. Nice job by Palin. Good hustle by Miller. There's Miller, watch. He gets down in the slot. There's the pass right there all by himself, and Palin up, and then he did, obviously, Earl Hall pushed him. Saved a goal, saved a rebound anyway for Hall.
Hobart with the ball. They're the team dressed in white jerseys, orange pants. Syracuse just the opposite. Lots of time to go here in this first half. It's loose. Good play by Moses as he picked up the loose ball. However, he did step into the circle around the cage. That's a violation.
Okay, I didn't see that. I thought he might have said pick, but it was a little hairy down there. When you see Matt Palin dive like that, that means he doesn't know exactly where the ball is. There it is. Ball is down. Miller, then Stouffer. Ooh, there's the attempt at the shot by Cunningham.
We have not had a timeout in this game as of yet. 6-3 Syracuse. When time permits, we'd love to tell you about the Hobart Lacrosse camp, directed again by Dave Urich and Mike Hanna. Near steal, but it is Syracuse's Dan Cahy who has a goal in this game.
Oh,
he took a shot from Miller, but he holds on to both his momentum and the ball. And he gets the return pass up the sideline. In the middle, he goes to Joe Bonacci. Bonacci splits the double team. Cosgrove is 38. Now Amaya into the box. Amaya directs into the corner to Zilberti. Maricek is left alone. Maricek, you've got to respect the behind the back shot of his. He feeds into the slot. Amaya from way out, it's wide, but Syracuse will play it from behind. Zilberti has it. The Z. This is Maricek again. He works in. He goes
nice
low.
Save.
Trell with a save. And the scoop behind is played by Zilberti off his stick and out.
Well, he beat Burchell, and then he took the low shot, but Trell got those feet up and really kicked it right out. Nice job by the goalie from Columbus, Ohio.
Sean Trell stopping Tom Maricek.
Watch Maricek. There he beat. There's the shot, and Trell really got the stick down, fouled it out. Great job by the goalie.
He made that play. Hobart now would like to get back on the board. They're down 6-3. We have 11 minutes to go in the first half. Coming up at halftime, the introduction of 5 all-time Hobart greats into their Hall of Fame.
Syracuse playing a tenacious ride here, forcing him to look and make the long pass. Or a pass into trouble. There's the sideline.
Hobart works it down. Now if they hustle, they will have an opportunity, but they slow it down as Syracuse gets back. Being forced to work the ball around the box. Jacques Monti shoots low. Easy save by Palin. The ones that are tough are the ones that hit on the dirt right in front of the crease and skid.
Coach Urich told me they might take a couple of those shots because of their loaded attack in terms of scoring, and they want to make them think about that midfield. Right now, Syracuse attempting to clear. Scaramazino loses it.
They did a good job knowing he was going to get hit, but it wasn't played cleanly. Now Fediaka has it.
Great job by Fediaka.
Now Moses. The crowd roars and Fediaka gets it going. Moses gave it up, headed down the slot. Tambroni with it now. Will work it outside as they'll bring on Drury. Kurt Drury, number 9. He's a junior from Peterborough, Ontario.
There they are, changing on the fly.
Persing coming on right after Di Maria, who wants the ball. He's signaling for it with his left stick, his left hand.
I think they like this matchup here.
Miller now to Di Maria, and Matt Kerwick gets it now. Kerwick's from Irondequoit, just outside of Rochester. Very deliberate attack by Hobart. Miller, they look for him on the one-on-one move. Miller against Stouffer.
Nice
Stouffer
check.
checks it away, and he gets to it, but overruns it. Helping out is Phil Schluter with a big stick. Schluter does a great job of releasing the ball, but it's misplayed by Scaramazino.
Now McCabe lost it. There he is. That was not much he could do about it.
Apologies to Steve Scaramazino. Was McCabe. Here again is Miller as he works against Stouffer. Giving it up in the slot. Kerwick.
Nice shot.
Played from behind. Kept in bounds in play. Now Di Maria outside the box. He has it. He eludes a couple of checks. He shoots and Palin with a save. In front, Tambroni and McCabe get into it. We have an injured Hobart player down. Mike Di Maria.
Di Maria, the midfielder.
Dave Urich and Mike Hanna will again direct the 15th annual Hobart Lacrosse Camp. 2 sessions are available, July 2nd through the 7th, as well as July 16th to the 21st. Emphasis will be placed on the individual growth of each camper as an athlete, a student, and a citizen. It's widely recognized as one of the top lacrosse camps in the country for boys aged 12 to 18. So you're encouraged to send in your applications now. Tuition includes room and board, a camp t-shirt, instruction, and a new lacrosse stick. For more information, dial 315-789-5500. That's the 15th annual Hobart Lacrosse Camp. And there is Dave Urich. 9 championships in 9 years at the Division III level. We'll talk to him at halftime about Hobart's desires to move into Division I. Fediakis' shot is saved. Make a Drury shot saved by Palem. Matt Palem has been very sharp, but there's Miller with a takeaway. The cage is empty. Miller gives it up. Monty scores.
That's the kind of pressure they want to put on.
Miller made the play, took it away, and fed Monty for the quick stick goal. 6-4 Syracuse.
Miller is playing fantastically, and just there it is. He went up and took the ball right, knocked it back down out of Palem's stick. Now Palem's out of the goal, tries a wrap check. Both defensemen drop in, but you're not much without that stick, really. Very difficult, and Moses on a nice feed up with a goal, 6-4.
Scaramuzzino and McCabe both drop into the net. Let's see if Syracuse comes back quickly. They work it down, but the pass from Paul Gate over the head of Maricek, not saved despite the hustle by Greg Burns.
That was not a poor pass. That was a good defensive move. One of the big sticks got it, changed the flight of the ball, and that was a great move for Hobart.
Syracuse now has sent on number 2, Brooke Chase, for the first time today. Brooke Chase began his collegiate career right here at Hobart. Here he is. He's from Fayetteville. He had some academic difficulties, transferred to Lemoyne College in Syracuse, got his grades back up, and then transferred again to Syracuse. He's only about 3 schools behind you, Dale.
That's right. Well, he can keep up the good work.
They go the length of the field. Here's Miller, and it was deflected as he got his shot away by McNamara.
And a slash. Syracuse.
McNamara apologizing there to Miller. They threw that ball almost the length of the field.
Did they call that on Syracuse?
See what happened? Palem was out of the cage.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they called the slash on Palem.
We've got a timeout with 7:45 to go in the second quarter. Hobart is leading Syracuse, or Syracuse is leading Hobart 6-4. The momentum here changing in the last couple of minutes. Our first timeout of the game. Once again, this cable cast being brought to you in part by the Howland Construction Company, Ames Linen Company, and Haskins Oldsmobile and General Motors Corporation.
Incidentally, Dave, DiLorenzo is warming up, so I think the slash is going to be called on Syracuse's Matt Palem, so you'll have a new goalie for a minute.
Palem came out of the cage way out to try to intercept that pass, and then he ended up slashing Bill Miller, who was downfield. In addition, by the way, to the Hobart Lacrosse Camp, there are many, many other sports camps that'll be held this summer at the Hobart and William Smith Colleges. The football camp, the one-day lacrosse clinic. There'll be a boys and girls swim camp, a one-day basketball clinic, an evening basketball clinic, a longer boys and basketball camp schedule, boys and girls soccer camps. Those are the dates of some of the camps we've mentioned to you.
Good thing they put in this new facility here.
Oh, it is going to be really something. The Robert A. Bristol Fieldhouse. It is a huge complex. You can actually play a game of lacrosse and put a full field inside. That's how big it is. We'll visit it. We'll go inside at halftime with Athletic Director Mike Hanna. Right now it is a 6-4 game. Hobart in control in the man-up situation. Scaramuzzino took a hit from Savage. Savage deals one on McNamara. The ball is out of bounds.
It's not DiLorenzo. It's Hine in the goal for Syracuse, 21.
Lee Hine.
He'd love to see him get that ball and send it on down.
He's out of Relay, Maryland. Tamroni with the ball now to Drury. Syracuse, what are they doing defensively?
They're just trying to slide and keep the sticks up. Let's see. That's a mistake.
Hobart can't capitalize as they turn the ball over. Stein comes on with Fediaka now and Tambroni.
Watch, they'll double team the ball. I don't think they're going to have Hine handle it. It will be Gate.
He may just elect to dodge.
Well,
he's going to get double teamed, and he's got the speed and strength. Now he gives it up. Right in the corner, Stouffer can't play it. Miller has it. Miller loses it. Into Di Maria's stick. Man open on the weak side.
Nice check. Ball back down again.
And Stouffer picks it up. Tries to find Scaramuzzino near midfield. Hobart gets it back. Man went down. Looks like his foot was being held. Now we'll get a whistle and an offside.
Yep. Against Syracuse. No possession, but the penalty will now be up. So they did a nice job of keeping them scuffling for the ball as Terry Cohen, the official on the far side, made the call. There's the whip check by Scaramuzzino, and then he rolled. He got his own foot caught there.
He pinned Di Maria's ankle down. That's who was tethered to the ground, Mike Di Maria. John Desko on the sideline is the most vocal of the Syracuse assistants. Dave Urich in the foreground. It is a 6-4 game, 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. Kurt Drury working one-on-one. He has the ball knocked away from him.
Syracuse been playing man down here for a while, and they're gonna get it again.
McCabe, is he the guilty party?
They got a hold in an unsportsmanlike, non-releasable. Whoa!
John Winship comes in the game, the freshman defenseman again. Scaramuzzino heads off. Well, you can get more orange for your green by donating to the Statesman Athletic Association, the booster club for all the Hobart teams. Gifts can be earmarked for a particular team, and the benefits of membership include season tickets to Hobart athletic contests.
That was unsportsmanlike. You won't see it. You'll see the initial penalty, but that's non-releasable, which means they will have to stay in the penalty box for that minute. So no matter what happens, they will be a man down.
Now Kerwick, as Hobart goes with the extra man opportunity. Drury, number 16 in the game, Dave Velopek. He's at the top of the box. He's got it now. Velopek to Drury. Velopek cutter through. Di Maria comes up higher. Moses does. Tambroni into the corner.
They can afford to be patient. It's non-releasable. On the other hand, you might be able to get a couple of shots off with a man down.
They get it to Moses. He tried the quick stick. Now they feed it up top. Drury winds, fires. Hobart will keep it because Miller was behind.
There's Drury. Kurt Drury with that big knee brace. Now they run a double pick from on top.
Back in the extra man opportunity. Drury's shot deflected high and out of bounds. Hobart keeps again. Spectators lining the fence all the way around the track here at Boswell Field as Hobart puts him back in play again. Miller, there's a shot, and it was saved by Palin. The rebound out in front. Backhander, saved again, Matt Palin. Palin having one of the best days of his career. Way upfield, intercepted by Hobart, regained by Syracuse. Winship, the defenseman. Now Syracuse, here's a great one-on-one opportunity by Gate, but he lost the ball and his stick, more importantly. Sean Trell, they get it upfield to Fediaka, the crowd roars. Now Moses, nobody on the wing as he looked that way. Moses a little disappointed, I think, to see nobody who was in the direction he wanted to pass it to. Matt Kerwick sneaking in.
Syracuse still a man down.
There's Kerwick, top of the box, Drury. Left of the box now. Velopek. Behind to Miller. Up high, Drury. Spins, loses, kicks, regains, dishes off. Back it goes. Velopek. Moving left, throwing left. Tambroni. Behind to Miller. Will he go in the air? No, it's Drury out front. Deflected by McCabe and out of bounds. Hobart will keep.
And that expires, the penalty expires. So Syracuse really escapes unscathed on that one, but they had a lot of problems there. A little loss of composure, a couple of penalties back-to-back, almost back-to-back, and then an unsportsmanlike, which is non-releasable. But Matt Palin.
Syracuse has now gone 10.5 minutes in this game without a score. Hobart last scored 4 minutes ago. It is 6-4 Syracuse. There's your time remaining in the first half. Dave Cohen, Dale Drypolcher from Boswell Field in Geneva. Hobart last won in this series 3 years ago, right here. Capacity crowd. Hobart with Miller playing outside now, starts a dodge against Stouffer and carries it back outside the box. Chris Crummy into the slot. Good overplay in defense by Scaramuzino, and they pop it in the air to Steve. He's got Maricek open on the left wing. He spots Maricek. He pulls it down from way up high. His pass to Zoberti. Coming in from the off wing was a little bit behind him.
Great look, and Sean Trell was the first one out to celebrate the fact the pass was off because he was in a lot of trouble. Maricek looking back behind him.
Maricek had to do a good job to pull this ball down.
Right, there's the grab, and now he looks, they slide in. He says, oh, they got my stick covered, so he went back, but the ball went wide, intended for Zoberti.
And Hobart clears it way downfield. Palin comes out of the cage. He came out once before and was burned. Matt Palin giving it up in the middle of Scaramuzino. Steve Scaramuzino, one of the Orange co-captains, dealing it to the crease. Zoberti goes behind. Zoberti back out. Scaramuzino took the shot, and he got held on to afterwards. Well, he did the holding.
Yep. Syracuse had a lot of penalties today. And the momentum is gone back. They've not really been able to sustain much time down in the goal area for Hobart. There's the Zoberti, there's the pass out. There's the fan on the shot, and there's the hold right there with the end of the stick.
Now, wait a minute. Who was holding that stick?
Syracuse was. That was Scaramuzino.
Right. Sean Trell asking for some help as Syracuse applies the ride. It's almost a zone ride.
Well, it's actually a 10. They had the goalie out. Matt was out, but now he's back in the cage.
Out of the game or out of the crease?
No, way out. Playing a little defense. Now they've got all by himself.
Syracuse converging, and they steal it. Maricek with Zoberti. He goes to Zoberti. Will he get it back? Yes, he does. He pops it in the air, and he lost control. Trell has it. He's interfered with by Maricek.
Well, he was in the crease. Then he said, touch the stick. That'll be interference.
You could see the give and go coming, but Maricek just couldn't play it. Both goalies have had outstanding games.
Well, that's a very tough thing to play. Watch Trell. There's the pass again for Maricek. Goes across. Zoberti. Guarded by Bennett. There's the ball back, and then he has a little trouble there. Now watch. See, there he is. And then he touched him with the stick right there.
I'm not so sure that ball wasn't tipped by Brooke Chase, who was in the middle.
Very possible.
Now Miller gets it back. Hobart looking to make this a one-goal game. Miller on the dodge. Stouffer takes it away. Miller's pass is saved by Drury, and Hobart gets it back again. This is Savage, has been quiet.
That's a
over the top goes McCabe, and he forces Savage into the mistake. That's as good as a takeaway.
Well, absolutely, yeah. That's because of the way the stick is. You got to protect your stick, and he pushed off on McCabe, and so Savage will lose possession. Syracuse will still have to clear, however. But this second quarter has been all Hobart as far as momentum. Ooh, almost a bad pass.
McNamara has it stolen. He's open in front. Shot, score. No, Miller hit the side of the cage. Miller disdained giving up the ball. Instead, went in on the angle, and he's not happy.
Yeah, that was the right thing to do. There was nobody there. It was a fast, unsettled situation. He takes the ball. It was a long looping pass. He got time to take it away from McNamara. Now he's all by himself. He really had a decent angle. He tried to go back on the inside, and that's an area where the goalies are most vulnerable when they think you're coming around and shoot it back.
We've got a minute and 50 seconds to go. We have a timeout here as Syracuse has possession, and oftentimes you see timeouts taken in the last minute or so of a half or a quarter to set up a scoring opportunity. Syracuse 6 and Hobart College 4.
Have been long recognized as two of the deans of collegiate lacrosse.
The Kraus-Simmons Trophy will be awarded at the conclusion of this game. Hobart won it in 1986. Syracuse winning it the last 2 years, winning it handily last year in the Dome. The next 2 years of this series will go back to the Carrier Dome. Again, the trophy named for Babe Kraus, who coached at Hobart 1925 to 1966. And Roy Simmons Sr., Syracuse coach, 1931 to 1970. Roy Sr. Is back in Syracuse. We know he'll be watching this game on Cable 13. We also want to welcome those of you watching this Hobart-Syracuse game on the New England Sports Network and on Home Team Sports. This is a classic. The Division III national champs hosting the Division I national champions.
It's amazing when you think about Dave Urich, 9 straight national championships. What a job he's done here at Hobart. And they love him here, and they love the game of lacrosse. And the weather has paid dividends so far today. A little dark, but no rain, no snow. Syracuse clearing.
So far, the scoring star for Syracuse has been Paul Gate. He's got 3 goals. Gary hasn't scored yet.
Lots of people after Gate.
Tom Marechek has 1, and here comes Gary Gate. Gary Gate winds, fires, and there it is, his first goal of the game.
You know, sometimes you just got to do it by yourself, and they really have not had much luck. They've had a couple of unsettled situations. Trell has come up with a couple of saves. They've had a couple of bad passes. You don't need to pass too much when you do what Gary Gate did. And he just took the ball on the clear and went all the way down as he avoids Eric Stein and then goes left-handed. And Burchill not able to stop the shot.
When he gets ahead of steam like that, look out. On the face-off, Pratt takes it away from Monty, and he feeds it quickly to Gary Gate. Gates pass up close, knocked away, and a good defensive play there by Peter Bennett. Trell, did he get to it? No, not in time. Great effort by Sean Trell.
It was. You could hear the official telling him it's off-white. You know, you talk about the defense there. Peter Bennett, those big sticks are great for knocking down passes, and the Hobart defense has been doing that all day, getting those big sticks up. And there's going to be a Syracuse timeout with 1:16 left.
And so again, we have a timeout. Last time Syracuse scored time, they all gathered around Roy Simmons, and obviously he said, Gary, it's time for you.
Well, you know, as we said, they've had a couple of unsettled situations, but Hobart has played tough, Trell has played tough, and, you know, you can eliminate some of the passing errors by just having Gary Gate run down. That's exactly what he did, and he's tough to stop one-on-one.
6-4 is the score, 7-4 now. Syracuse trailed 1-0 in this game. They have not trailed since. Don't forget, young people like this fellow here have a lot of activities to choose from at the Hobart Summer Sports Camps. The football camp, June the 25th to June 30th. The one-day lacrosse clinics, June 26th to June the 30th, the daytime lacrosse clinics. Boys and girls swim camps, late June to early July. 2 sessions of the lacrosse camp. There's also an evening basketball clinic, boys and girls separate basketball clinics, as well as boys and girls soccer clinics. And for information on any of these summer camps and clinics, call the Hobart and William Smith Summer Sports Camps at 315-789-5500.
They had the chalkboard out here during this timeout, Dave. Syracuse did.
Zoberti getting it to Gary Gate. Paul Gate comes out of the box to play it now.
Way out on top.
Will they isolate for Paul? Will they clear out for Gary? Will they give it to Marechek? They do. They all stack up in front of the crease. Marechek looks for his spot. Rodney Dumpson now. Look back at the bench. Zoberti to Marechek. And Dumpson. Here comes Rodney. Low shot. What a shot. Zoberti plays it from behind. Into the slot for Paul Gate. It's scooped back to Dumpson. Time remaining now is half a minute.
Nice
the shot
save.
is saved by Trell. And Hobart now looking to transition for one possible shot with that much time to go. A bad pass intended there for Velopek and out of bounds. So Syracuse gets it back.
Burchell made the pass, 32.
Plenty of time remaining, 20 seconds. We may yet get another timeout taken here.
Oh, Hobart's going to take a timeout. They don't want to give up another goal here. They want to get the ride straight. They just soon have one of those turnovers down there.
And indeed, we have a timeout. Dave Urick, by the way, assisted by Mark Van Arsdale, Peter Gillott, longtime assistant Jack McDonald, Chuck Warren. 20 seconds to go in a 7-4 game with Syracuse in the lead. And a lot of lacrosse to be played. Coming up at halftime, by the way, we'll go inside the new Robert A. Bristol Fieldhouse with athletic director Mike Hanna, and we'll talk with head coach Dave Urick. There is the Robert A. Bristol Fieldhouse. It is a huge complex. And the Hobart Athletic Department and the lacrosse team acknowledge the generous loyalty of the Howland Construction Corporation. Thomas P. Poole, class of 1961, is the president. Also the Ames Linen Company. Bud Ames, class of 1964, is president. And Dick Haskins, class of 1960, president of Haskins Oldsmobile, General Motors Corporation. All of those making this cablecast possible. We hope you're enjoying it. 20 seconds to play here in the first half. It's been a very, very good game.
Excellent. Well played, lots of fast breaks, lots of unsettled situations.
Here is Paul Gate on the gallop. He's gone by 2. He gives it up to Gary Gate. Gary on the dodge, Gary to the shot, it's wide. Syracuse keeps it, it does stay orange with 8 seconds. Same play as previous.
Might have Zoberti.
Zoberti feeding a trail interception, he'll simply throw it away. And time is run out here in the first half at Boswell Field in Geneva with Syracuse, the defending national champions of Division I, 7, and the defending national champions of Division III, Hobart, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, during today's halftime, we'd like to take a few minutes to honor 5 special individuals who were inducted into the Hobart College Athletic Hall of Fame at a special dinner last night. This group marks the 4th class to be inducted into the Hobart Hall of Fame since it was started in 1986. Each of these 5 individuals has had a tremendous impact on athletics at Hobart College, and we would like you to join us in honoring them this afternoon. The 1989 class of the Hobart Hall of Fame consists of Cyril D. Cordova Brower, class of 1921. Rick Gilbert, class of 1974. Gary Mendez, class of 1958. Former coach Jerry Schmidt. And Paul Vogt, class of 1927, represented by his grandson, Andy Vogt. Cyril D. Cordova Brower, class of 1921, was the first Hobart man elected to a National Hall of Fame, entering the Lacrosse Hall of Fame in 1959. He earned a total of 14 letters at Hobart in lacrosse, track, basketball, baseball, and football. After graduation, he served as president of the USILA for 2 years, was also a member of several USILA committees for many years. Representing Cyril D. Cordova Brower at last night's dinner, his daughter Joan Hoff and her husband Phil Hoff. Rick Gilbert, class of 1974, still stands as the all-time leading scorer in college lacrosse history with 444 career points. A 4-time All-American, he exceeded 100 points as a sophomore, as a junior, and as a senior. His 287 career assists also stands as the collegiate lacrosse record. He helped the Statesmen to the 1972 USILA college title game, as well as appearances in the 1973 and 74 championships. Rick Gilbert's jersey number 42 was retired in 1975. Rick Gilbert now lives in Baltimore, where he is president of Piedmont Construction Systems. Gary Mendez, class of 1958, was a two-sport star at Hobart, earning All-American honors in both football and basketball. He led the Hobart basketball team to an 11-6 record as a senior, averaging 17.3 points per game, and he helped the football team to a perfect 6-0 record in 1957. During Gary Mendez's years at Hobart, the basketball team posted a record of 33-20, and the football team recorded an overall mark of 19-2-1. Gary Mendez earned a Ph.D. from the University of Michigan in 1979. He is the founder and director of the National Trust in Bethesda, Maryland. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary Mendez. Our next inductee, Jerry Schmidt, led the Hobart lacrosse team to 3 national titles in his 11 years as head coach. Jerry Schmidt compiled an overall record of 141 wins, just 35 losses, and he led Hobart to the national championships in 1972, 1976, and 1977. The College Division Coach of the Year in 1977, he coached 26 All-Americans at Hobart. An All-American at Johns Hopkins himself, Schmidt is also a member of the Lacrosse Hall of Fame. His son, Will, was a senior defensive midfielder on last year's Division III National Championship Hobart team. Jerry Schmidt currently is a real estate broker in Long Valley, New Jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Schmidt. The late Paul Vogt, class of 1927, was a two-sport star at Hobart who went on to serve the college in many ways after graduating. Paul Vogt was best known for his skills on the gridiron, where he was one of the dominant linemen of his era and twice named to the All-Opponents team of Syracuse University. He was also an All-American lacrosse player who went on to coach the Hobart freshmen for many years. A campus leader, Paul Vogt went on to serve as member of the Board of Trustees from 1948 to 68, and he was one of the prime movers in the planning and realization of the magnificent Bristol Gymnasium. He is now represented this weekend by his widow, Helen Vogt, and by his grandson, number 21, Andrew Vogt, a senior midfielder on the Hobart lacrosse team. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Vogt and all the members of the Hobart Hall of Fame, class of 1989. And there you have the inductees, the newest inductees into the Hobart College Hall of Fame. We'll be back with our tour of the new Robert A. Bristol Gymnasium and our talk with head coach Dave Urich right after these messages. Welcome back to today's Hobart-Syracuse lacrosse game. It's halftime, and this is an interview we're conducting with head coach Dave Urich that was conducted before the game. Obviously, things are quite a bit quieter out here now, Dave. This is year number 10 for you, and you have a remarkable record that nobody in the history of NCAA sports can equal. 9 championships in 9 years. Year number 10, and Hobart again is right now atop the Division III lacrosse world.
Well, I think it's nice to be there. I think it's, as Coach Simmons, I'm sure, would echo, it's where you are at the end of the season that is really important. And we're getting into a phase of our schedule with Syracuse today and Cornell around the corner, Penn State, Hofstra, that are really going to paint a clearer picture to how good a team we really are and how far we can hope to go. But we're pleased so far this year.
I mentioned at the beginning of today's broadcast that this is one of the few remaining rivalries in all of college sports where you'll have a Division I going against a Division III, and there's really none of that mentality, well, there's nothing for us to gain by playing this game. It's one of the few remaining contests in college sports of this nature. Now, a year or so ago, you decided that you wanted to see if Hobart could elevate itself into the Division I world of lacrosse, but the NCAA said no to that. So where are we now in that regard?
Well, we felt that was something that we should at least explore and consider. Some of the legislation that is on the books right now in the NCAA kind of makes it difficult to do that. The interest was more to maintain a quality level program and ensure down the road games like this. The Syracuse-Hobart game is a traditional battle, one that I know our players certainly look forward to and the fans in Geneva do as well. But we want to make sure that we're able to maintain that level of play to keep that type of competition keen and keep that type of game alive.
To maintain the level of play, the status that you're at now, you want to get the same kind of athletes. And the concern is that these athletes might go elsewhere where scholarships are available?
I think that's a big part of it. Our recommendation was not to go to a scholarship route. It would be to stay on need-based financial aid like the Ivy League schools do, and do very well in the lacrosse championship picture. But lacrosse is growing. I think if we step back a little bit from our respective institutions and you see it's meaningful and it's good growth, I think lacrosse down the road is going to line up more with your traditional sports like basketball and baseball and football, where you see less and less overlap between the Division I's and the Division III's. So my main reason for taking a hard look at it and thinking that we should consider it is to keep the quality of the program where it was, so that we could keep playing the Syracuses and Cornells down the road. It wasn't an effort to raise the level of the program to the next level up. I think we're already there. We just need to ensure that down the road. Everything is in place here for that type of program.
And unlike basketball, where many schools have made the jump to Division I for financial gains and the chance to reap additional benefits, there's really no big money to be made in this sport.
No, it's a truly amateur sport, and it's something that I think a lot of us that are connected with the game take a lot of pride in. Today is a special event. Hobart, Syracuse, and Geneva. It's something that a lot of people really put a lot of interest in, and they come out in great numbers to see this type of game, and you want to maintain that.
The NCAA, though, said no to the request by Hobart. What was behind their thinking, and is it fair in your estimation?
Well, they said no in sort of an indirect way, in the fact that the legislation that exists on the books right now really makes it difficult for a school now to consider going into a multi-divisional classification. They've passed legislation that grandfathers in all those that presently exist. For instance, the RPI St. Lawrence's and Clarkson's in hockey don't really have to worry too much about it, because any of the legislation that's on the books has grandfathered them in. But there's a lot of feeling amongst member institutions in the NCAA that multi-classified institutions have a little bit of an unfair advantage in certain respects. So they've made it increasingly difficult for any schools from now on to make that move, and that's kind of puts us in a little bit of a dilemma.
Is it kind of regrettable that in terms of actual on-the-field competition, which might possibly be the main criteria, at least in a coach's mind, that is not primary in the NCAA's mind? Well,
it's a little bit bigger than just lacrosse, and from my own selfish standpoint, I don't agree with it. I think the rule really does discriminate a little bit, but it's a bigger picture with all the programs involved, and you have to try and do the best you can within the guidelines that are established right now. And we're sort of in a wait and see period right now. I'm not really sure what may happen in the next few years with respect to the level of our program and this type of series, and how well we can compete with this type of team down the road.
Dave, one final word about today's game. Does that fire burn a little hotter in the belly for this one?
It does. A lot of people back on campus that have been involved in this game in the past, and they've got great expectations. I know the players put a tremendous amount into this game, maybe too much in some respects. I don't think it has quite the luster maybe for the Syracuse team as it does for us, and it's something that we have to do to try and do well in this game. We have to ride a little bit of wave of adrenaline and get playing over our heads a little bit.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, what a difference a year makes. A year ago this time, Mike Hanna, it was just a solo shovel into the green grass behind Boswell Field. And now, barely a year later, the building is erect, and the inside of the Robert A. Bristol Fieldhouse is really beginning to take shape.
That's right, Dave. We're well into construction. We plan to move in the building and begin using it in September of 1989. We just finished the roof this week. The paving of the floor will start to take place in mid-May, and needless to say, it's created a great deal of excitement on campus and in town.
Would I be accurate in saying this is the biggest building on campus?
Clearly it is. We have on the main playing surface 66,000 square feet, which for those alumni can't see it firsthand, that's 6 Bristol gymnasiums under this roof, and then we have about 20,000 square feet of auxiliary space where we're standing right now.
We're on sort of a balcony here at the Robert A. Bristol Fieldhouse, and off to our left down here, we're overlooking what looks to me like a racquetball court.
That's correct. It's one of the 2 racquetball courts in the auxiliary space. Within the Robert A. Bristol Fieldhouse is what we call the Elliott Varsity House, named after Bill Elliott, a wonderful man and benefactor of the colleges. And in the Varsity House are locker rooms, 2 racquetball courts, a beautiful weight room, dance studio.
I know you're looking forward to that dance studio.
That's correct. That's right up my alley. And some storage space for our outward bound program that uses kayaks and sleeping bags and that kind of thing. So between the Elliott Varsity House and the Bristol Field House, we're going to have just a tremendous facility for the whole community.
Let's take a little bit of a walk here and talk about this building. Now, I understand that you'll be able to drop curtains over the field house itself and kind of divide the area into areas where the varsity teams can use it, and the public will still have a chance to jog around the periphery of the Bristol Field House.
That's right. The main playing floor, which is over 200 feet wide and over 330 feet long, wider than a football or lacrosse field, and as long as that. So, and we can divide that. We'll stripe the polyurethane floor for 5 basketball and/or tennis courts. So you could play tennis on 3 and basketball on 2 or volleyball on 1. We'll have that netting dividing system so that we can separate the activity spaces.
Let's kind of envision what it would be like. The floor surface, I guess, will be a dark green, sort of like a real green playing field.
Above us, we have a skylight that'll bring in a tremendous amount of natural light, give you that feeling of out of doors. The floor will be green, and we're trying to pick up on the idea of a playing field, helping people to feel that they're out of doors. We will have a jogging, walking track around the perimeter, which will be a contrasting brick red. Color, which should be pretty. The various activities will be striped in different colors. The tennis courts will be white stripes, basketball, black stripes, and so on.
You're going to have a competitive running track, a 200-meter track.
That's correct. There'll be a competitive running track, which we anticipate will be a very fast track. Initially, it'll serve our outdoor track program because we don't have indoor track right now. But down the road, I wouldn't be surprised that it fosters the growth of both a men's and women's indoor track programs.
Not too hard to see how you could recruit to have an indoor program with a 6-lane indoor 200-meter track.
That's correct. Yeah, very much so.
So the building now is scheduled to open in September and be dedicated in October.
That's correct. In September, matter of fact, this summer we'll probably have a shakedown cruise and have some of our summer campers perhaps use the building. We should be in it in September. And then on Saturday, October 14th, which is Parents' Weekend here at the colleges, we will dedicate the Robert A. Bristol Field House and the Elliott Varsity House.
Mike Hanna, you also have one important duty this spring connected with lacrosse. This year, the USILA will select 2 scholar athletes in Division I and Division III.
That's correct. The United States Intercollegiate Lacrosse Association has instituted a Scholar All-America program, essentially an academic All-American team, which myself and Bill McHenry from Washington Lee University chair. And actually what we will do is pick a Division I team and a Division III team, a maximum of 10 players in each division, who first must be lacrosse All-Americas and then meet certain high academic standards, and then they will be awarded the USILA Scholar All-America recognition and certificate. So I think it's a great shot in the arm for the sport, and we're very excited it's come to reality.
You know, back to this building for one more second. You look at little babies when they're 2 or 3 months old, and you can't believe in 1 year that they become functional human beings who can walk and talk. And it's much the same with this. I remember seeing that shovel into the earth a year or so ago. Now here we are actually standing in the building.
I have mixed feelings about the completion of this building. And since 1981, when I came here, I've put in a lot of time on the design of it and the fundraising, and to see it go up is, I think, much like reading a good book. You know, you almost don't want that story to end. And it is a remarkable transformation, and I can't say enough about the project management people, Iverson Construction, and the administration at the colleges for helping us become a reality. And all of our alumni and friends who have donated to this, especially Bob Bristol and Bill Elliott.
Well, those people at Syracuse who thought the dome was only a wild dream know what it's meant to Syracuse, and I'm sure that the Robert A. Bristol Fieldhouse will mean a great deal to Hobart.
And to everybody, because it will truly be a recreational facility. And I think our faculty, our students, whether they're athletes or non-athletes, this will bring the whole college and the community of Geneva under one roof to have a good time.
Thank you, Mike. Let's get back to the game. Back at Boswell Field in Geneva. Hope you enjoyed the halftime activities. Dave Cohen, Dale Dry-Poulter in a 7-4 game. Each team has suffered 1 defeat on the season. Syracuse lost their opening game to Johns Hopkins. Hobart was defeated at North Carolina. Second half face-off.
Face-offs have been a Syracuse dominant statistic up until this point.
Kirk Pratt and Jacques Monti did the honors, and here's Paul Gate, who's had 3 goals He throws it away downfield. That was a pass, not a shot, intended for I don't know exactly whom, and Hobart gets it back on the turnover.
You know, one of the things I think Hobart, when they had Syracuse, at one point they had them 2 men down for a short period of time. They were not able to convert, and the shots on goal are fairly close, and the man up really, Hobart not able to convert on that. It had to be a little frustrating, and both goalies having, I think, Dave, very good days.
Terrific day. Sean Trell, Matt Palem at midfield, a long clear attempt. Ground ball stats are very even as well. Loose play now near midfield. Neither team able to get something mounted here in the early going.
Oh, let's see what that is.
It's a flag. Rob Persing.
Marechek. I think Marechek is the one that a little late. That'll be unnecessary roughness. No, you're right. It may be number 34. Persing.
The call is unnecessary roughness against the Orange man. It will be a 1-minute penalty. And the statement will be manned.
There's the man who was guilty of the unnecessary roughness. So Syracuse is going to start the second half the way they played much of the second quarter, or at least a significant part of it, man down on some.
7-4 Syracuse. Tambroni on now in the man-up situation. Drury. Hobart going counterclockwise. They like to feed a man coming down the slot from behind. Here's Tambroni. Drury and Kerwick. They use Velepak in these situations in the first half.
Want to really try to stop that, get those big sticks up, stop the passing lanes.
Bounce shot, and not a really good one. It goes over, but Hobart will keep it. In this sport, the man closest to it when it goes out of bounds, and a shot attempt keeps possession for his team.
Well, you know, like the man behind, when they're using this zone, they can let him go, but they've got to slide quickly when the ball gets out.
Nobody played Miller from behind that time. They're leaving him free back there. He's had one of those air gate types of goals.
That's right.
7-4 is the score. In the slot, backhander, and deflected in, I believe, off of Matt Palem. Moses with a backhand shot.
Nice shot by Moses. Not exceptionally hard shot, but definitely well placed. Let's see Moses. Watch, they work the ball around outside. And there's Moses. McNamara lets him go. He just turned around and fired, and McNamara was sliding and slid the wrong way as Moses slid, able to put that backhand in. Nice shot. 7-5 now for Hobart. Another face-off for Syracuse.
And Drury quickly, or make it Pratt getting it quickly in the scoring position, but it's mishandled. Now Pratt heads off. Gary Gates saving time as Rodney Dupson comes on, and then he loses the ball, uses his strength and positioning to get it back, loses it again, a third time, gets it back again, and flips it ahead to Marechek. He feeds the crease, Zilberti, oh, and Paul Gate couldn't control. All he had to do was catch it and drop it in. Paul Gate coming back. He goes in the air, he stuffs it. And Trell stops him. It's a legal procedure against Paul Gate. He's smiling through the mask.
What a great game this is. There's Gate. Beats the defender. And now watch Trell. Trell's got the stick up, knew what to expect, and it was over the top.
Trell has seen that before. He has watched the tapes, and he knew just what to do. He was aggressive. He just met the stick. Down the sideline now.
Nice
DiMaria has it taken away by Schluter. He's got a man ahead. He spots him. Zilberti with a 3-on-1. Zilberti, beautiful feed, and the shot is blown by Marechek. The rebound comes out to Persing. Persing feeding behind to Zilberti. Syracuse had a golden 3-on-1 opportunity.
That's Bennett on Zilberti.
Zilberti now will have Amaya coming into the picture and giving it to him. Fred Amaya, 1-on-1. He has some operating room, but doesn't elect to make use of it.
Well, they got to clear out for him, get him some room. He goes behind. He's admitted he's behind now, 1-on-1.
Getting more and more ominous, the skies. They fed the slot, nobody there, but Burns back to play. Syracuse in the opening 3 minutes of this second half in a 7-5 game. If the weather gets sloppy, it'll favor Hobart. In all likelihood. Amaya. Maya's shot is wide. They had a a penalty on the play. It was a play-on situation. 30-second technical.
Hold, push, push. It will be. And I think that was on Di Maria. Yes, Di Maria is in the penalty box.
Now Syracuse will have the extra man.
Just get past her up the sideline. Just keep it going, right? Just stay over here.
Little strategy there for Di Maria about bringing it up the sideline. Zoberti from behind. Open on the wing is Gate behind the back in close. They took away the angle. The rebound, the second shot, Zoberti high and wide, and Syracuse will get it again.
Nice defense by Hobart. Good flurry by Syracuse. Great lacrosse game. Got 2 shots off in about 10 seconds. Make it less. Make it about 5.
Quickly, the ball back in play again. Rain beginning to fall now. Zoberti at the crease. He was in the crease, and Hobart takes it back.
Let's see now what kind of ride Syracuse is going to use here. And the ball will be on the side. As you get a look at Sean Trell, who has played very, very well. Check his saves for you. Sean Trell, 10 up to this point.
Let's watch the pressure Syracuse puts on. They are going up the sideline if they can keep it in play. Cunningham sending it back to Trell. Trell into the middle of the field to Di Maria. Di Maria talked about going up the sideline. That's the way they go. Nice takeaway by Schluter with a big stick and a good give upfield to Scaramuzino. He loses track of it. He rakes it, but taking it away is Drury. Drury with Savage to his left. He goes to Savage. The angle closes down. Savage being checked by McCabe. He took it away again. And a whistle stops plays. They head upfield.
Syracuse getting a little bit frustrated on these pushing calls. They won't be on. If they lose their composure, they didn't, but they are a little frustration, I think, on these calls. There's the check by him. There's the push.
This crowd will erupt now if Hobart can pull within 1. They haven't been this close since the opening moments of the game. They led 1-0, and Syracuse pulled into the lead. Here's Savage trying to beat his man. McCabe comes over to play the ball in the corner, fakes the underhand backhand pass. He goes to the far side of the field, and the Orange work up the field that way.
Take the time. Stouffer redirects it. Hobart drops off and gets some people on.
Hobart with a 3/4 court ride now. Gary Gates coming on. Paul Gates coming on. Paul Gates coming back to bring the ball upfield.
Watch him collapse on him.
He gives it to his brother Gary. He'll use his brute strength in midfield. Gary into the box, galloping, stopping on the dime, finding Paul. Rifle shot. And Zoberti's back there. 9.5 minutes ago in the 3rd quarter. Gary Gate with only 1 goal in the game. Paul has 3. Maricek has 1. He loses the ball. Picked up by Hobart. As Syracuse got it back, we got a penalty against the Orange.
They have had a lot of penalties today.
Peter Bennett hobbling. Maricek heading toward the sideline. We have not seen Jim Egan in the game for Syracuse today. He began the season as one of the starting attackmen. On the sideline, great play by Kerwick as he knocked it away from Cunningham. Then he couldn't find the loose ball. Syracuse applying the ride. Man-to-man ride now. They've got the goalie covered as well. Heading toward midfield. Bringing it across is Cosgrove. Moses in close. Shot, score by Savage. Syracuse beaten on that full field ride, and now it is a 1-goal game, 7-6.
Great fast break. Got the ball all the way up. And there is is the pass off from Moses, and it's just one-on-one, and Lance Savage down between the legs scores the 6th, and the face-off becomes all important now for Hobart, and that's going to be procedure. They just cannot get a face-off from Syracuse. On the other hand, Syracuse has not been cashing in when they have gotten the ball. They've had some missed passes, and now it's a time for Syracuse with 8:54 to come up with a goal.
Syracuse has scored only 1 goal in the last 18 minutes of this game.
That's right.
That was
it's
a
been a dry
completely
spell.
solo effort by the man with the ball now, Gary Gate. There comes Gate. Gate double team. Zilberti with a rebound. Paul Gate open to the near side. Zilberti works, looks for the shot.
Oh, pipe.
It hit the crossbar, ricochets out of bounds. And they look, one official looks to the other. He says Gate was closest to it.
They want to make sure they got that, and that will be Paul Gate with the ball.
Now, Paul Gate on a dodge to the goal, giving it up to Gary. Gary looking for that hard left-handed shot. Backhand feed to Paul behind the back. In close, what a score. And who got the goal? Jim Egan, just in the game.
Just as you said, he hadn't played.
Jim Egan is the recipient of that beautiful behind-the-back pass, and that gives Syracuse breathing room now at 8-6.
The philosophy is anytime either of the Gates gets the ball, put 2 people on him. Watch. There's 2, and that leaves Egan. Oh, boy, I tell you, that was a great placement of the ball because he did not have an angle at all. Nice job by Egan.
They took Maricek out on the last possession. He'd been frustrated a number of times today. Egan came in, and he pays immediate dividends. It's 8-6. Pratt won the face. He was held momentarily by Monty.
Oh, they're getting all over him.
And Pratt's going to leg it toward the box. He's got Egan to the right. Egan has it again. Egan from Yorktown.
Syracuse getting some new people in. Scaramazino and company out.
Bonacci and Amaya come on as part of the second midfield along with Dan Cahey. Egan is the veteran. He's also quite a bit taller than Maricek. Easier to spot, I suppose. You work the ball from behind. Egan has it down the far corner. He'll use a pick by Zilberti, or at least he'll fake using it. Egan with a hook shot. Nearly caught Trell by surprise. Good. Hobart is closest to it. A pair of Syracuse players argue their case.
Let me ask you a question. Think he'll change his mind?
Maricek and Bonacci arguing. 7.5 to go in this third quarter. It's 8-6 Syracuse. 50 shots in the game. Syracuse with 29 of them. This is really as good as it gets.
Yep. Let's see what they do now on this clear.
Sean Trell giving up. Far side. There's a man open, Terry Mulherin, right in front of the bench, and they spot him from about 50 yards away. Hobart's Drury has it now with Kerwick. Mulherin heads off. Burchill, the defenseman, comes on. From behind, Miller. Miller draws the double team. He has great balance. He had the ball dislodged, and then a whistle.
Syracuse, just another penalty now. It's going to be on McCabe, I think, on a slash. I think uncharacteristic of having a lot of penalties today. But I think that's part of what Hobart's doing. So it's a guessing game.
At stake is the Kraus-Simmons Trophy. It was on display earlier at the scorer's table. Hobart has capitalized on 40% of their man-up opportunities. This time they go in clockwise fashion. And Drury gets it again. Kurt Drury from Peterborough, Ontario. Tambroni down to Miller. Schluter playing him defensively from behind. That's a little bit of a switch. And a score by Miller. Once again, we have a one-goal game at 8-7.
Boy, they got some aluminum on him. He was still able to get that shot off. Watch. There's Miller. That's Schluter on him. I thought they got the stick right there. Knocked the stick down. He kept control of it. Scared Mazzino over, and he's running backwards and takes the shot. Had Matt Palem not set, I think, for the shot, and his third goal.
Palem came out. A defenseman was in there, but I was a little surprised to see Schluter behind the cage, not the close defense. Gary Gate picks it up. He may look to answer back himself against Cosgrove. Here he comes. Down he goes. Play on situation. So Birdie scores.
Oh no, the whistle blow. He was in the crease.
Let's await the disposition of this call.
Simultaneous if he was in the crease. Let's see. 1 minute on a trip. Well, anyway, it'll be a minute. Birdie talking.
No goal.
There's the trip. He got him on the foot. Obviously a trip. Now listen, you won't hear it, but the whistle blew before the ball went in, and it was no goal, regardless of what happened.
Now you've got to wonder why. The intent of the rule is to prohibit teams from being penalized in precisely those situations.
Well, it was just a flag down. I don't.
So no goal. It remains 8-7 with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Dave Cohen, Dale Drypolcher. Syracuse deflected. That's a pass. It's going to stay in bounds. Last touch by Hobart. Knocked out of the stick of Hobart, and good job by Gary Gate.
Also by Gate.
Now it's definitely in the stick of Gary Gate. No hidden ball trick this week, at least not yet. He gives it to Zoberti. They'll walk it toward the cage. Gary outside. Now brother Paul. Rodney dumps it. Behind Zoberti. In the slot. Paul Gate, and Trell made the save. He has been terrific. Sean Trell, Columbus, Ohio native. Played back in his backyard last year in the national championship game at Ohio Wesleyan, just up the road from Columbus. Big save there by Trell in a one-goal game.
Even up now.
This game has not been tied since it was 1-1 early in the first quarter. Ooh, a dangerous redirect. Stein to Trell to the near sideline. In front of the bench, they go on to play to Tom Rio in the game for the first time.
Boy, I tell you, this is some excitement.
Matt Kerwick, crossfield to Drury. He's going to be hit. He loses the ball. Scaramazino is there, along with Schluter and Maricek in the game. Maricek and Kerwick. Maricek is a great stick. He goes now to Burns. Burns into the box and back out of it. He's got a pretty quiet game today, is Greg Burns. 4.5 minutes to go, third quarter. 8-7. Syracuse leads Hobart. Rushing on is Paul Gate. They spot him. It's off his stick.
That's happened a lot today.
Let's see if he can get it before it goes out of bounds. Great camera work as Paul Gate picks it up. Gate fakes, underhands. Paul to Gary. There's a play-on situation. He shoots. Trell with a save, and now we'll get the penalty.
That'll be a 1 minute
Tremendous action.
Yep. That was a cross-check, so that'll be a minute. Now Hobart committing some penalties, and Syracuse getting some man-up opportunities. This is their third, but they've had two in a relative short period of time.
Kerwick heads out. Look at Gary Gate.
That's the hit right there on the head that drew the flag, and there. Then he's going to hold him, make sure he doesn't get off, but he does. Trell just playing very, very well.
And we've got a timeout taken by the Hobart Statesmen, who have battled back to trail by only one goal at 8-7. Syracuse at one point in this game led 4-1, 6-3, and it was a 7-4 game at the half. Capacity crowd here at Boswell Field in Geneva. Overcast, threatening skies all afternoon long, but except for a few droplets of rain, the weather has not been a factor. Well, Dave Urich and Mike Hanner will once again be directing the 15th annual Hobart Lacrosse Camp. 2 sessions available, July 2nd through the 7th, July 16th through the 21st. Emphasis will be placed on the individual growth of each camper, not only as an athlete, but also as a student and a citizen. This camp is widely recognized among the top lacrosse camps in the country. It's for boys ages 12 to 18, so if you're inclined to send your youngster, please get your applications in soon. Tuition includes room, board, a camp t-shirt, a new lacrosse stick, as well as instruction. Call 789-5500. The area code is 315. The 15th annual Hobart Lacrosse Camp. Dale?
Get a shot here of Sean Trell on a save that just, he's been playing magnificent lacrosse. You're going to see this actually was indicative of what he's done all day. Got the body up. 22 saves he's had up until this point. There's another one, sky high.
Off the stick of Rodney Dumpson, deflected by Trell. Fediaka plays it. He's moving now on Greg Burns. He's got the step on Burns. From behind, a takeaway by Dumpson. They can't get it away from Fediaka. He gives it up to Miller. Hobart now can tie the game. The crowd ready to erupt. They're on their feet anticipating a possible tying goal. 3.5 minutes to go in quarter number 3. 8-7 Syracuse. Dave Urick's vantage point. It's not a great one on the sideline. From behind, Moses. Knocked away, the race is on. Hobart's going to get there first. Well, you can sense the statesman rising to the occasion is Savage, who had a goal in this half. Between the legs of Matt Palem picks it up.
Got a short stick on him. They get the ball back. That was good.
Moses playing a lot from behind now. Here's Miller with a move. Miller with great balance against Stouffer. He rifles that shot high and wide. Both teams make changes now during the stoppage of play with 2:52 to go in the third quarter. Not much time to rest between these dead ball situations. Here comes Miller. Stouffer's on him. Miller holds the ball out. He fakes. There's that back fake like it looks like he's going to fall down. Miller now with Stouffer, me and my shadow, in a crowd. Scooped up by Drury. Drury has it knocked away. Drury is ridden off the play. Now they go after Kerwick, and the orange shirts of Syracuse get to it. Percy and McCabe. In the middle, they throw it to Schluter. He can't handle it. Fediaka for Kerwick. Up in the air, played by Scaramuzzino. Nice quick
look.
stick. He goes to Burns. Syracuse back on the attack. Here's a shot. It's wide, so Bertie is there.
Good backup.
2:08 to go.
I'll tell you, this is a great lacrosse game.
Syracuse ranked number 2 nationally in Division 1. Hobart ranked number 1 in Division 3. Throw away all the numbers. These are two great lacrosse teams. Equally matched physically, strategically. Earl Hall now being played by, looks like Chris Crummy. Crummy knocks the ball away. He's going to get to it. And we make it a late push call.
Chris Crummy was playing him. Detected pushing. We get more changes as the big sticks come on.
I'll tell you one more thing I like about these two teams. The coaches let the athletes play. They don't overcoach. They're not particularly animated on the sidelines. They don't direct a lot of verbal abuse toward the officials. This is a player's game, and neither coach has lost sight of that. Syracuse by 1. Freshman Tom Maricek rifles his shot, and Trell comes out to play it. Trell gets rid of it quickly, rolling it up to midfield. Syracuse gets it back. Do we have an offsides? What do we have? A flag away from the play. Maricek pleading his case.
That was way away from the action. That's a minute penalty. Unnecessary roughness again.
I suspect he's a little bit frustrated today.
I would have to say that would be it. And another man-up opportunity now for Hobart.
Chantrell down on a knee, catching a breather. He's had to roam far and wide and stop every kind of shot in this game. It is still 8-7 Syracuse. Another tie situation possibly. Tambroni with it now. Syracuse has scored only 1 goal in this third quarter. Here is Drury faking. Getting it back. He's the point man on this power play. Off the stick of Miller. Can he save it? No. He took his eye off the pass. And the Orange get it back.
That was the 7th opportunity, man up for Hobart. But they could not cash in. Syracuse has 3.
Tom Maricek on the sideline. I think he has a facial resemblance to Wayne Gretzky.
All right, they're going to double team the ball now. Syracuse still man down.
And the power of Gate, but he's separated from the ball. He gets it back.
He's some help over
triple
there.
team now. He lost his stick. Fediaka has it. Fediaka dumping it off. Savage can't play it. Will it roll out?
Yes.
It will. Syracuse gets it back.
Boy, that was awfully dangerous. They double teamed and they didn't have a lot of help. And when they got the ball down, I'll bet you Matt Palem was glad when that ball went out of bounds.
We have 36 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
They're going to do the same thing again. There's Matt Palem. They got Savage on him. Along with number 18, Tambroni. Now they take the ball back and get up a set clear. See how far they let Palem go. Get up to Paul.
Again, they go to Paul Gate with 12 seconds to go. They'll have time to get the shot away. He gives it up behind his back, dumps it in close. Zoberti spinning, his shot is low, and the whistle stops it with 2 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Syracuse may elect to hold the ball now in the man-up situation and have that penalty carry over into the fourth quarter.
1 minute on a slash. Boy, they really are they are collapsing on him. He's got 2 people on him no matter where he is. And when he gets the ball down in the offensive end, they are really on him, sometimes getting 3 people.
The goal scoring in this game, Paul Gate has 3. Miller has 3. And the third quarter is history with Syracuse still leading Hobart, but now only by 1 goal at 8-7. Don't go away. This game's a long, long ways from being decided.
The attendance for this afternoon's contest is estimated at 7,700.
Off to brother Paul, goes behind the back on the pass, and Egan makes the almost impossible shot for Syracuse's 8th goal.
On that goal, Chantrell conceded one part of the cage, and Egan took advantage of it. And in a very limited role, right now his goal stands up as the difference. There'll be more scoring for sure before this one's over. Zoberti
0 for 3 on the
feeding
man
it up top. Here's a hard shot, and Zoberti watched it whiz by him out of bounds.
Syracuse man up 0 for 3 at this point. As we said, they'd love to make it 1 for 4 right now.
Dave Cohen and Dale Drypolcher's Cook Cablevision as Syracuse brings you today's Hobart-Syracuse Classic.
That's a good name for it.
Here's the Z.
They move until they challenge him, and
watch how the defense reacts.
Very aggressive man down.
In close, Zoberti faking on Trell, and Maricek is there for a little extracurricular cheering on of that cushioning goal as Syracuse now leads at 9-7.
You know, they really played a very aggressive man down. They're shifting, they're challenging the man with the ball, they're putting the sticks out, and they're able to make the passes around the horn and get it back into Zoberti. Watch him come out. There's Gate. See, they get out. Stick up. Now let's check, move around, but he's all by himself. They tried to slide at the last minute. Tom Rio was there, but the Z put it in, giving Syracuse a 2-goal lead with a lot of time left.
Rather quiet afternoon for Zoberti. 1 goal, 1 assist. Off the face-off, Crummy battling against Pratt, and Pratt rakes it back and comes back to get it. Now Syracuse quickly transitions into offense. Here's Paul Gate. Likes to go left. He's going that way, and he's being held as he goes.
It's going to be a ward now. If they blow the whistle, it's a ward. It's an offensive foul. So that will go against him.
Moving on, Larry DiGiovanni.
Jock Monty, number 10, entering the sixth in the lineup.
3 quarters complete here at Boswell Field. Score was 8-7 through 3 quarters, and the shots are plenty.
Let me tell you, that face-off, however, is now 15-3. Syracuse really dominating in that particular statistic, and if you got to get behind and battle back as Hobart, well, only down by 2, but that face-off has become almost a Syracuse certainty. Nice check by Scaramazzino.
And he nearly came up with the ball. It's going to roll into an Orangeman stick. McNamara. Quickly they get it down to Zilberti. A bounce feed intended for Marechek. That was a little different. Saved by Syracuse. Bonacci tiptoeing down the sideline. He may have gotten away with stepping on it. Amaya and Scaramazzino.
With the big stick, Scaramazzino up with it.
Scaramazzino shifting it into overdrive. In close. There's the score. Marechek on a nice feed inside. And now Syracuse has opened up a 3-goal margin at 10-7.
Once again, back to face-offs. Now Syracuse, the pressure now becomes much more intense on Hobart. There's Scaramazzino. He makes the long looping pass. He gets the ball to Burns. Burns, nice fake, holds onto the ball, and then down, and then upstairs for Marechek as Trell basically had no chance to stop him, although he's done it a couple times today. I shouldn't say that. He's had a great game.
This equals Syracuse's biggest lead of the game at 3 goals, and the face-offs are dominated by Syracuse. But here's a rare win by Monty, and he sends it way back to Trell.
I was going to say that ought to bring it. Sure, that's their 4th face-off.
This crowd is probably in the vicinity of 8,000 right now. Syracuse trying to take them out of the game. They've quieted down.
Nice
and
job.
there is a turnover, and that's a forced error that time as Marechek was applying the pressure.
Yeah, he was on Pete Bennett, and Peter Bennett had to put the stick down to the side, Dave, and he lost the area that he wanted to put the stick in, and it just went out of bounds.
Earl Hall in the second midfield now. Marechek's earlier frustration seemed to have dissipated now. Earl Hall with Amaya and Bonacci. Hall on the one-on-one move. Zilberti now to Marechek. Marechek ducking down. He's faking. He shoots it wide.
But he's getting penalties. That's what, see, he's really starting to come through now. He's settled down. He's playing a lot better. Peter Bennett's going to get called for, I believe it was a hold. That's the distraught face, perhaps, I guess, of Dave Urich, although there's a lot of time left in these games.
He's got other Division I opponents upcoming. Penn State, Cornell.
Let's go. Get up here.
There's the hold right there. Nice move. This is when, in the 4th quarter, your defense has been busy. They get tired, and that little thing that you could shuffle your feet and get the body position now becomes a hold.
He also has Hofstra coming up, and in May they'll play at Ohio State. Here's Zilberti inside, choked off for the goal mouth. Marechek, beautiful feed to Gary Gate coming in from the back door. And Syracuse has their biggest lead of the game now at 11-7.
There were 3 behind-the-back feeds between Zilberti and Marechek, and then they got the ball off. Watch Zilberti. There he goes to Marechek. Marechek behind the back to Zilberti. Zilberti fakes the sneak. He goes back to Marechek. Marechek now just drills it right across to Gary Gate, and Trell couldn't get over fast enough.
Gary Gate with his 2nd goal of the game, and Marechek made that possible.
That's a push.
DiGiovanni in on the action, and it's going to go over to Syracuse. It is all going Syracuse's way now here in the 4th quarter. 11-7 is the score, and Hobart desperately needs to stop this run.
Dave, ever calm on the sideline, always instructional.
Cahey, Mark Hoteling in the game now, number 13, his first appearance.
They're going to wear him down here
Top
with
of the
numbers.
slot, Burns scoots and he scores. And Hobart now is in need of a timeout as they're down 12-7. needing to regroup somehow, even if not with a timeout.
Yeah, Sean Trowell is just, but really, he's just, the reaction time, he's got about 25 saves up until this point. He's just had a number of shots taken at him. We'll check just to make sure. Syracuse has taken, that was the 39th shot. And slowing down a little bit, and Syracuse, Dave, getting the numbers in and putting some fresh faces in.
He hasn't really had the defensive help the last couple of moments, and now Syracuse wins another face, and in close, crossbar for Hoteling, rebound is wide, and this ball is rolling toward the corner and out. The orange shirts will keep it again. Hoteling missed at point-blank range. He got the crossbar. Goals are coming quickly now, as Syracuse has scored 4 goals in the last 2 minutes and 25 seconds. It could have been 5 in 2.5 minutes.
There's the pass. There's the
right on the pipe.
Right on the cage, right on the pipe by Hoteling. Hoteling with the ball now.
Using the pick of Zilberti. Fresh troops being employed here by Roy Simmons. Here's an open slot. And the save made by Trell. Gary Gate had that open avenue to fire one in. He elected to bounce it. Di Maria trying to get Hobart back in the game. You got to score 1 goal at a time. It sounds like a cliche. It is. But you can't rush it. Now Miller.
A lot of time left.
Miller against Stouffer on the double team, goes low and it's smothered.
Uh-oh, Matt, way out there for Syracuse.
Palem out. You don't want to give him an easy goal. Schluter and Di Maria.
That'll stop an unsettled situation. Palem or whomever on the push, it just said, well, we'll give you possession. At least we know where the ball is. So they got the ball back, and now, Hobart has the ball back, but Syracuse at least knows where it is and can set up defensively.
Standing room only crowd here at Boswell Field. And this field is held up beautifully. Not even any clumps of grass or dirt flying.
Very little slipping, too.
People who have gone to the ground have been pushed to the ground. Hobart really looking now to work hard for a goal. Shoe top try, no good, and the orange sticks come away, but they lose. Di Maria wins and he loses. Orangemen all over the ball. They combine on Tamroni, and now here's Savage. From behind he goes to Miller. Miller against McCabe. Tough matchup. They take it away from him. Palem has it. 10.5 to go. Did somebody hold? Some mock cheering there by McCabe.
Miller had been matched up with Stouffer, and this is going to be McCabe, who is not a passive defenseman. Now this is with Palem. And there we see the push, the hold.
Player being tossed his glove there was Miller, or Savage. Here comes Di Maria, or Drury that is. Off the rebound, the ball high in the air, and Savage has it. McCabe shoving him. Scaramuzino with the double. Hobart, bad pass. Kerwick came in, the pass went behind him. Di Maria in a foot race to the sideline. He can't save it.
Ball has not slowed down on those, Dave, as we've seen sometimes on the grass field. A fast track here for Syracuse and Hobart.
Along with number 38, Grant Cosgrove, entering the statesman line.
Ground balls are dead even, and there's been a lot of them. Shots have been plentiful, and Syracuse getting the majority of them, especially here in the fourth quarter.
I was going to say the last 5, 6, 7 shots have been in a rapid succession from Syracuse.
Hobart's now gone 10 minutes without a score in the game. It was 8-7, and Syracuse has scored the last 5 in succession. Fred Amaya, good move. Coming back to the forehand side.
They're double, triple. Got to get rid of it. Can't hold on to it.
Earl Hall back into the box, in the slot. Zilberti going high and a little bit too high. Good ball movement by Syracuse. Now seeing action, T.J. Gerasi for the first time. Out of bounds, not saved. Good camera work there as Hall and John Fogle contended for it. This game has been played at such a fast pace, we haven't had much time to give you the hometowns.
That's right. It goes so quickly.
Fogel is from Clory, Pennsylvania. Zilberti's from Syracuse.
You can hear him saying, there's the pick, go through, as the defensemen talk to each other. Zilberti move.
Oh, he got free. Ball came loose. Gerasi with a hit.
That's gonna...
As Trell came out of the cage.
So Zilberti's going to sit down, I think, for an unsportsmanlike.
I don't think anybody has left Boswell Field.
A lot of time left, 9:16. A lot of goals, actually 5 at this point, but certainly not out of the realm of possibility. Syracuse not very successful on man up today. Hobart with 3 more opportunities, cashed in 3 of 7.
Drury limping a little bit. Now Miller from behind. Miller to Kerwick. He's got an open shot. He passes back out instead. And here's Kerwick again. Into a crowd and taken away by Syracuse. Looks like McNamara it is. You don't see as much firing from outside as you used to.
McCabe with that vacuum stick. Syracuse would like to get it in the box. They do. That should release any penalty.
Gary Gate to Maricek. Zilberti's coming on. They're going to try to find him, but they can't. Here's Maricek with some operating room. Shoots, scores. Deceptively quick release, and Maricek gets the goal.
That's Burchill, just a tired defenseman.
Not only is his release fast, but the power he gets on that shot.
Nice job, but just a little sweep. Basically, is all it is, a sweep, and Burchill tries to give him the body, but that's... Syracuse just keeps running people at you, and Hobart's got to be getting a little tired at this point.
5 consecutive goals now for Syracuse. Maricek up to 3 goals and 3 assists. And now it is a 13-7 game. Chris Crummy on the sideline against Kirk Pratt. The 2 face-off men staying on, at least for the moment. They want to get it in the stick of Miller. No flag on that.
He was looking for one.
Crummy giving it up, but he intercepted by McCabe. McCabe hit from behind his Z outlets into the official scorer's box. Maricek opened up the season with 3 goals against Hopkins. He had 4 goals against Adelphi. He had 5 goals against Brown. And just as he did last game against Hofstra, he has 3 goals and 3 assists.
I would say the rest of the teams on Hobart's schedule had better watch out. They look pretty good.
Cornell, Penn State, Ohio State yet to come. Loose play and a big hit by Palem, former football quarterback, against Chris Crummy. Schluter can't find the ball. He clipped Monty on the head, and Monty returned the hit.
It'll be a slash. Syracuse is going to be down again. Is that the call? No, I guess not.
1 minute slashing penalty is a call.
It's against
The Statesman.
Hobart. So that will be a man-up opportunity for Syracuse.
There's a look at the Statesman in the penalty box. Is that unstatesmanlike conduct? Syracuse has dominated this 4th quarter with 5 consecutive goals. It was 8-7, and Hobart had the crowd in it and the momentum their way. And then quickly things changed. That was a blur, an absolute blur, fired by Sean Trell. And now would you believe Syracuse has doubled Hobart at 14-7.
Trell came out with a stick up. He really didn't even have a chance. There's the ball behind. Maricek to Z. Z out on top. There's a left-handed shot, kind of a screen, and Trell just not able to come up with it. He has played spectacularly today, except the 4th quarter, as I think Hobart getting a little tired. And there's the face-off stat, 17-5.
We've seen it before, Dale. We have seen how teams have been dominated in the fourth quarter by Syracuse's numbers and the power of Gary and Paulgate, who just do not wear down.
No, they really don't. And Marechek and people who have to guard them don't get a break because they just continue to run and run and run and play hard. And not that the other teams don't. It's just so hard to play against them defensively for a whole game and keep up that strength because they're very big players. Both the Gates are. Marechek obviously a little smaller, but great placement. All of them veterans of the box. Up in Canada. There's a move here. Picked by Gary for Paul.
And a shot and another score. This time it is Paulgate, and it is now a 15-7 game, and that's going to send some of the Hobart faithful toward other pursuits on this Hall of Fame Saturday here in Geneva.
That's exactly what we were talking about. You can see Paul Gate. There's the pick. Doesn't need much room. And then just watch the shot. It's not very hard. Just a bouncer and just tough for Sean Trell, who's had checked the shots for you right now. That was the 46th shot. Another face-off by Kirk Pratt in a fast break.
And they're not calling off the dogs yet. There's another goal by Syracuse, and this time it looks like Kirk Pratt with a goal. And the goals are coming in unbelievable, rapidly fired succession. Kirk Pratt gets the goal. That's his second of the year. And coming to the length of the field to congratulate him, Matt Palem.
Well, it's a great offense, you know. I mean, it's a great defense when you can get Matt Palem just sitting down there watching this from the backside, and he sees the shot by Burns and then the rebound by Pratt. And he's excited, as was Matt Palem, as you said, made the long trip down, and another face-off by Pratt.
And this is not a replay, as Burns couldn't handle the pass, and Hobart comes away with it now. 6 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this game, and Syracuse is out 16-7. Miller now. Played by Amaya. For 3 quarters, Hobart gave Syracuse all they handled and all they wanted. It was 8-7, and now it is 16-7. 2 entirely different games. Miller. Drury. Drury being played by Amaya. They work it in close. And down to make the save is Palem, but he can't find the ball. Di Maria was in there. Scarabazino knocked away from him by Drury. Miller applying pressure. Throws it right into McCabe's stick. McCabe up the sideline to Scarabazino. Miller pursues. He makes a great takeaway on the dive. And now Kerwick overrunning it for a second.
That was Miller.
Kerwick with a low shot. Palem saves. Cage is open. And in and out is McCabe. That's the call.
You can't enter that with the ball. And he went through and then came back in, but very quickly with his step for that's going to be a timeout by Hobart.
And so we have a timeout with Syracuse leading Hobart 16-7. 2 years ago, Hobart scored 15 against Syracuse, but lost 20-15 in the Dome.
The Alumni Council, the American Society, and the National Athletic Association invite Hobart to Smith.
5 minutes and 3 seconds remaining, and Hobart would like to, if they can't win this game, certainly get some of the offensive momentum back. We've got time to remind you about all the summer camps that are coming up at Hobart and William Smith College. There's the football camp, the daytime lacrosse clinics, boys and girls swim camps, 2 sessions of the Dave Urich, Mike Hanna Hobart lacrosse camp, daytime basketball clinic, There'll also be an evening or nighttime basketball clinic, boys and girls basketball camps, boys and girls soccer camps and clinics, all here at Hobart and William Smith Colleges during the summer of 1989. More information, call 315-789-5500. Well, they came, they saw, they enjoyed. They may not have conquered. This was a classic lacrosse game for 3 quarters. Under 5 minutes to go now. That's the Syracuse bench as Hobart tries to end this run by Syracuse of 8 straight unanswered goals. Tambroni trying to feed the crease. Drury taken away by McCabe off the double team. He fights off Moses and Tambroni and finds the open man. Nice play, McCabe. Down the sideline. It's Dan Lannon who's wearing number 43 on the road. Into the corner now. Jim Egan on the attack. No sooner did he come in the game when he got what you'd have to call the game, well, the game clincher. It was 8-7.
That's right.
He came on and got the 9th goal, spelling Marechek briefly. Now Syracuse is going to make a change in the nets. Jerry DiLorenzo, 0-0 is coming on, replacing Matt Palem.
Palem will leave with 19 saves. Check that. They took 25 shots at Matt.
So with 4 minutes to go in the game, Matt Palem's day is done. Jacques Monti controlling now, redirecting it to Sean Trell. Trell just had a terrific game until his defense basically went AWOL in the 4th quarter. Gary Gate with the interception now, and that's how much time remains. Brooke Chase, former Hobart player, and they know it. Kind of a marked man now.
They keep the ball in the box, they'll have an opportunity to flag is down.
They feed it, and a shot taken on the reverse by Paul Cannon, saved, and now the stop.
That'll be a slash, so Syracuse will be man up at Brooke Chase. Really got illuminized.
Long afternoon for Sean Trell. He played so well that he's got to be down right now. Boy, those goals came in a hurry.
Well, he has played very, very well as their man-up team. Hobart's 3 of 8, Syracuse 1 of 5.
Syracuse had 2 runs of 4 goals in 2 minutes plus, and there's a very, very, very easy 17th goal by John Zilberti. So it is a 10-goal margin now for Syracuse.
Just a give. Marechek works it around. And then they just look backward pass to Gary. And then the slide up by Zilberti. As you said, Dave, if that were the first quarter, it might have been played tougher. These guys are just tired. They've seen a lot of shots, and you got to give Hobart a lot of credit. Syracuse has done a lot of shooting and also gotten a lot of face-offs. Dave Urich told me he was a little concerned about that before the game. And Syracuse actually was controlling face-offs early, but did not open the kind of lead that they got here in the 4th quarter.
Last week in the Carrier Dome, Syracuse defeated Hofstra 16-7. Right here, they lead Hobart 17-7. Hofstra is a future opponent of Hobart.
That'll be a good matchup, I think.
As is Penn State and Cornell. As are Penn State and Cornell. Also a road game late in the year at Ohio State. That's a game I'm sure they scheduled for the benefit of Sean Trell from Columbus.
Yeah.
He is the man with the ball right now. When they read the score of this game around the country tomorrow, they'll have no idea of how well Hobart and Sean Trell played.
You're absolutely right. And Bill Miller also offensively has had a great game for Hobart.
Jacques Monti getting playing time now besides the face-offs. Giving it up. Crummy poke checked away from him. Syracuse has some new people in the game. Bill Tully on defense.
Shot.
There's a shot. It's deflected by Lorenzo, and Hobart will maintain possession.
DiLorenzo, double O on Levittown, a freshman.
Syracuse sends on now Todd Stratton, a freshman defender out of Homer. Miller, with 2 minutes and 5 seconds left, is working solo here. And a terrific over-the-back shot beyond the disbelieving John Winship and by the goalie, Jerry DiLorenzo. Great effort there by Bill Miller, and that ends a long, long drought.
Is that Miller's 4th goal, I think?
Yes, it is.
Watch the move on Winship as he just fake, just power, and then he's going to come back, and then come back again, and he's got the goalie moving, and they just took up and over, and the goalie not having that stick ready to go up high.
Now Syracuse with the ball. 33 is Matt Moore from Fayetteville Manlius. 17-8. Under 2 minutes remaining. Fred Meyer for Syracuse. Sean Trell has gone all the way in the nets. Matt Moore giving it up. Paul Cannon scooping it up now. Going to get some token pressure. A cleanly contested lacrosse game, start to finish, hard hitting, well played. Here's John Godwin, who got 2 goals last week, giving it up in traffic, and a hard spinning shot. Looks like Jason Picorni in there.
Yep.
1 minute and 1 second remaining. Hobart's 7-game winning streak will end. Syracuse's winning streak will go to 7. Both of Hobart's losses will be to Division I teams.
And you'll probably, no doubt, see them in the playoffs for the 10th consecutive year. Probably in the championship.
Picked up by Brian Tully. Gentile hit there by Drury. He could have really blindsided him. Now Drury and Tully with a quick exchange and nothing more.
Syracuse now with 43 clocks on, obviously. 17 seconds down, 43 left in this final minute.
The Battle of Champions. And it was a real good game for the first 3 quarters. One thing you can say with absolute certainty about both teams is these are genuine college students who play a sport and not the other way around.
Absolutely. And they're actually really 2 of the best lacrosse teams in the country. You'd have to say that, obviously defending national champions, but you might think both these teams might do it again.
The Gates and Rodney Dumpson are on now in the closing seconds of this game. So is Zilberti.
Right here.
Behind the back, in close. Little icing on the cake, perhaps. Roy Simmons says he likes to give his athletes the chance to be creative. And certainly being an artist himself, he knows all about creativity.
Well, if sports are entertainment, lacrosse has got to be one of the best entertainments around.
And just like the end of a 15-round fight, many of the fans are cheering now and applauding the efforts of what they've seen this afternoon from their Hobart statesmen as well as Syracuse. And that is it. Time has run out. And the 1989 Upstate Classic, the Kraus-Simmons Trophy, goes to Syracuse as they retain possession now for the 3rd straight year in a 17-8 win over the Hobart College Statesmen. Many of these players know one another. They've played against one another. They'll do it again this summer for sure. Syracuse defeating Hobart College 17-8. And this man knows all about tradition, Roy Simmons. His dad, Roy Simmons Sr., not here today, but he'll watch this game. And here's the Hobart College huddle.
Better team than Carolina. We're making some progress. We ran out of gas in the fourth quarter.
And you heard the words, we ran out of gas in the fourth quarter. And we'll be back with more right after this. And there it is, the Kraus-Simmons Trophy being held high and proudly by Steve Scaramuzino, John Zilberti, the Syracuse co-captains.
Don't drop it.
Syracuse retaining possession of the trophy, named after Babe Kraus and Roy Simmons Sr. for the third consecutive year. Hobart last winning it in 1986. So Syracuse wins today 17-8, and they'll take the trophy back to Syracuse. And these two teams will meet again next season in the Carrier Dome. In fact, they'll meet there for the next 2 years. The final score is 17-8. Let's take a look at the statistical story beyond the actual goal scored and to see in the final analysis what it was.
Well, I think, we caught that last thing that Dave Urick said on the air, where he said that they ran out of air, or ran out of gas, I should say, ran out of gas. And I think that's true. The shots, obviously, Syracuse 51-27. That'll give you an idea of what Sean Trell faced. Saves 20 for Hobart, 13 for Syracuse. Ground balls virtually identical. Man-up goals did not appear to be a factor. Syracuse had a lot of penalties today, not always time-served variety. Face-offs, however, a real statistic, because if Hobart could have gotten maybe a couple of face-offs and gotten back in after they'd scored some goals, but that's all. They were right down there into three quarters and they weren't getting the face-off, so very, very difficult. But as Dave Urick said, he thought they ran out of gas, and Syracuse has got a lot of horses.
Well, the weather certainly held off. It at no time today was a factor, and this field was in excellent shape despite the spring of winter and snow. And Syracuse prevailed by a score of 17-8. By the way, that pond looks to be a little bigger than it was, thanks to the construction of the Robert A. Bristol Fieldhouse, which will be completed by the time we're back here for future Hobart lacrosse action. Again, Hobart wants to thank the Howland Construction Company, Ames Linen, and Haskins Oldsmobile for their support of the Hobart College Athletic Department and their loyalty, especially to the lacrosse team. So the final score this year and the 74th renewal of this terrific college rivalry was Syracuse 17 and Hobart College 8. Now speaking for Dale Drypolter, this is Dave Cohen, thanking you for joining us and hoping you have enjoyed today's Hobart-Syracuse lacrosse game. This has been a presentation of the Department of Athletics of Hobart College. So long, everybody.